And talking about Smash Bros, if you're watching this on YouTube, smash that like button.
He's fucking done it. Hello and welcome to Win Stupid Prizes, the show where we ask the questions that nobody thought were worth asking. I'm Eddie and I'm joined today by my two other stooges, and they are Alex.
You thought I was worth asking? Onto the show.
And Jamie.
Hello. I don't have a cool thing like that to say. Hello.
You may notice there are fewer of us than usual, and that's because we're trying something a little bit different this time. Today we're asking, who would actually win in Super Smash Bros.? And the reason this is a little bit different is because we're all judging, and one of the characters is going to win.
How's this battle going to work?
So, all of the characters are going to have their respective franchise powers, rather than the abilities they have in Smash Bros. So it's still the same, like, Battle Royale sort of thing that Smash Bros. Has going on, except they're all getting chucked into it at once, and they're using their game powers. So they might have more powers based on what they have in their games, but they might have less powers if they are given random things to make up for the lack of moves that they have in their own games in Smash Bros.
So this could be a really big upgrade for someone like Ridley or...
Captain Falcon?
He gets a car.
He gets a car!
If we go through them in fighter number order, so if you want to follow along at home, you can. So, let's start with our main man, the titular character himself.
Mario, Mr. Jumpman Mario.
I think his last name is actually Mario, right? Isn't that canon now?
I think that's a joke they do. In the movie?
I thought Nintendo confirmed that that was canon because they're always called the Mario Brothers,
Yeah.
and so that would imply that their surname is Mario, and I think they just ran with it at some point.
Here we go. Mario, originally known as Mr. Video and Jumpman, and also known as Mario or Super Mario.
Because I think Luigi's name is Luigi Mario in canon.
Yeah.
Apparently, before Iwata's death, Miyamoto said that that wasn't true, but 2 months after, Miyamoto said it was, so...
Oh, so he was keeping the truth undercover, and then it got revealed after he died.
Anyway, Mario.
What can Mario do? He can jump.
A lot of the stuff that he does in his own games are based on the items he picks up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Psychedelics.
Well, sometimes it's psychedelics, and sometimes it's like a leaf.
It's like Popeye eating his spinach.
He also has that big-ass water gun.
Yes.
He does.
The Flood.
Ah, classic Halo bad guy.
This is like base Mario from the 3D games, otherwise you get like Mario's hat, which...
Cappy. Yeah, he gets Cappy.
Does he get Cappy, or is Cappy arguably his own character that isn't in Smash Bros?
That's a point.
Without Cappy, I think he is basically screwed because he relies on his items, and
Yeah.
everybody else presumably gets access to those items because they're just out in the world.
If Link eats a fire flower,
Yeah.
does he just get sick?
Depends what he cooks it into.
Yes.
Where are we staging this fight? That's an important point. Are we going to stage this in a real-world scenario, or are we going to stage this in an obscure realm where all video games are true at once?
I feel like something real world.
Why don't we set it traditional Battle Royale-esque, countryside with towns skirted around, so you get buildings, you get countryside, you get a mix of stuff going on.
Okay. In that case, is the arena shrinking?
I guess it kind of has to, but
Yeah.
slowly enough that it's not going to matter until most of them had a chance to fight anyway.
Cool.
If the arena's shrinking, that makes Jigglypuff very powerful.
The shrinking is actually literally a wall that pushes them in, rather than an elimination zone. How about that?
Yeah, fine.
But back on Mario.
I think Mario probably isn't going to win.
Can Cappy take over other beings? Because he takes over Goombas, right?
Well, he takes over any creatures other than...
Does take over Bowser at the end, but I think that's a special thing,
Yeah.
not necessarily a normal rules of the universe.
Okay.
You never take over the other bosses.
Okay, so Mario can have Cappy, but he can't take over the other fighters. That seem fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a result, he's no chance of winning.
Yeah, I think C or D tier.
Alright, Donkey Kong loses to Mario, moving on.
Can climb buildings, can jump down and squash you.
So, I really enjoyed Donkey Kong 64.
Oh, hello.
And he has a gun.
He gets a gun in Donkey Kong 60. Is it banana gun?
No, it's a coconut gun.
Oh, okay. But Donkey Kong is essentially just a large gorilla.
Yep.
Big gorilla, got a gun. He turns into like his other friend animals in a lot of his games, like a rhino and stuff. But I think
Wow.
that's them helping him rather than him actually turning into them.
If the power of friendship was something, then lots of these characters would certainly be very overpowered.
And Mario might actually win if the power of friendship was real.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Donkey Kong's in with a fighting chance.
He's in the middle, I think.
Let's start this off with Donkey Kong being our baseline.
Okay.
You either put things above or below DK, and everything above DK is on the short list.
Yeah. Until we get a better baseline, let's run with that.
Link is a very good boy. He has a sword, he has bombs, he can camp.
Link's got an awful lot of stuff accessible to him.
Yeah.
Link to the Past Link has got nonsense stuff in terms of what he can do. Ocarina of Time Link has got the ability to manipulate time with songs.
But that's just like jumping around in time, not like...
He can speed it up and slow it down.
That's still pretty shenanigan-y, but it doesn't necessarily help him in a fight.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
With the right equipment, his strength is ridiculous.
And he does have access to like some weird magic as well.
Yeah, he's got some spells in some of the games. And in Breath of the Wild, in particular, he's got the Sheik Slate.
Yeah.
He's got big magnet powers, bombs, and freezing things, but also stasis, as in he can just freeze something in time.
Yeah. He's got the ultimate escape, so I think he can get out of most fights, but I don't know if he can win them just being a boy with a sword.
Can you break the Sheik Slate? Because if you can...
It's never... Yeah.
I think Link is a shoo-in for our shortlist, but I think there are several weaknesses that might make Link lose in the later rounds. But I think he's got a good chance.
Yeah.
Because it's a different Link each time, what you could argue he has access to is broader than almost any other character, right? Because the power level of a Link fluctuates wildly between games.
And if he manages to chuck one of the chicken boys at them, then that's just game over right there.
Yeah, but that's power of friendship.
Ah, good point.
So next up is Samus.
Oh, that's a good one.
In terms of equipment people have access to, Samus is kind of ridiculous because she's in the future.
Yeah.
Well, it's a sci-fi setting, so she's got
Yeah.
guns, freeze beams, grappling hooks, morph ball, bombs, a spaceship.
Yeah, I think Samus is a shoo-in, especially if she is far away. She can just shoot you.
And the morph ball is very good at getting away if you're up close.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Just like, this fight's getting a bit much for me, ball away.
Go down like some small gap somewhere
Yeah.
where only Pikachu can follow me.
Samus definitely make it onto the shortlist.
Samus A tier. Dark Samus.
The question is whether or not Dark Samus kicks Samus off and puts themselves in the slot.
Is Dark Samus a strictly better Samus?
I'm unsure because Dark Samus is only in some of the games, and therefore only the stuff in those games is accessible to Dark Samus.
But Dark Samus is essentially just a copy of Samus even in those games.
Kind of, but has got like powers beyond that due to what they are.
Oh, powers beyond, you say?
Yeah.
So just Samus but better, maybe?
But I don't think Dark Samus has access to all of the stuff Samus has access to because it's literally a dark entity made of Phazon in a Samus suit.
Yeah, it's not a Venom suit situation.
So Dark Samus is a suit with dark energy in it that has gained sentience.
Yeah.
Which is not a character and therefore cannot be awarded a prize and therefore is disqualified.
I'm going to allow this.
Yeah, okay.
I am a big Yoshi stan, but I don't think Yoshi stands a chance. Yes, he can turn into an egg, he can roar people, but like even if he eggs away, he will just die at some point.
He'll just egg away from the fight into another fight.
Yeah. The big Yoshi play is to have 100 stampedes of Yoshi, but that's power of friendship.
The big Yoshi play is Big Yoshi.
Yeah.
However, I think Yoshi is canonically about the same height as Mario.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I don't think Yoshi has a chance.
So, yeah, I think unfortunately, Yoshi...
Yeah.
Maybe someone lets him concede rather than actually murders him.
But Kirby, on the other hand, while also looking like a cute little creature, has a much better chance.
Yes. Kirby can roar people and get their powers.
Which is probably powered up considerably by the fact that people now have access to their franchise powers, not just their neutral B.
Yes.
But for a lot of characters, that is like guns and stuff, so I guess he can't just absorb a gun.
There's a character in Kirby that you absorb and you get a sword.
Right.
Yeah.
How does that make any sense?
It's actually represented in Smash Bros. With Kirby's up B, you know, when he gets the sword out and does the little spin. And that's the sword that he gets.
I assumed that was a sword he just owned.
No. I would like to bring into the conversation the things that Kirby deals with in his games in terms of what he goes toe-to-toe with include like intergalactic demigods and unknowable creatures that, like, Kirby's fighting on this level that's just, like, it's cartoony, but it's also horrifying in scope about what he's actually dealing with.
He's full on Gurren Lagann this shit. Start like small scale fun time and then end up battling the universe.
Oops.
Yep, kind of.
Alright. So he can steal people's powers and he can go toe-to-toe with cosmic level beings.
Yeah.
So he might have a chance.
Yeah, I think we'll put Kirby in the almost certainly going to survive to the final round.
Kirby is like a being of infinite energy or something.
Wow.
And also, Sakurai made Kirby.
Yeah, the creator of Smash is the creator of Kirby. So there's a little bit of favoritism going on.
Well, that makes him OP in Smash, though, not necessarily OP in general, although you have argued reasonably that he is OP in general anyway.
Yes.
But what about the most OP fighter pilot I know, Fox McCloud?
Fox is a character who's massively upgraded by going to their franchise, because the way that you interact with Fox in most games is you're in a starfighter.
Yes.
Yes. Are we going to have to ban starfighters, or is it somewhere on the map?
I think it's generally interesting if they have access to them, but arguably, once they're taken down, they're down to fighting on the ground.
Yeah, I think having access to one of your vehicle, assuming that that is synonymous with your games, like the Starfighter here, I think that's fine. But you get one. If it gets taken down, that's it.
Yeah.
I think a couple other characters here will also benefit from this, so I don't think it's just playing favourites for Fox here.
Yeah.
The fight's going to open with a dogfight between the three guys who've got starfighters.
Where are we dogfighting, boys?
Like, just because they're from the same game, they're going to open by taking out the other people who've got their own advantage.
Yeah, okay.
That kind of makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
So, at some point, we have to decide which of Fox, Falco, and Wolf win that, because only one of them gets to be...
Yeah, that's true. They could decide to work together and battle it out.
I don't think Fox and Wolf would ever team up.
Yeah, and Falco's the ace pilot, but Fox is the protagonist, so...
Tough call.
We'll get to that. But yes, I think one of the Star Furries should be in the shortlist, but I don't know which one.
Yeah, you're right. Like, having aerial advantage might not win them the entire fight, but will put them in a good position to give it a good run.
Yeah, there's definitely characters that can take down aerial enemies.
Yep.
We should move on to the first Pokemon that was put into Smash. It's Pikachu.
Of course, it's your boy Pikachu.
I mean, if it's Ash's Pikachu...
Yes, here's the thing. Pikachu's a fan favourite. Ash's Pikachu is OP, but a normal Pikachu...
doesn't actually have access to all those very, very good Thunder moves that we see in the Smash.
So I think the interesting thing about Pikachu is actually it really depends on who he matches up against, because a lot of the people that rely on technology, a bit of a zip-zap, and suddenly their technology doesn't work.
Or they'll get supercharged.
True, that is possible.
Some game logic would be like, oh, you hit me with thunder, now Samus's suit is really OP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens in the original Avengers, doesn't it? When Thor and Iron Man are having a fight.
That's where I'm thinking of it.
But yeah, Pikachu comes up against Samus. Either it shuts down Samus's suit and she is out of the fight, or it supercharges her and, oh no.
Yeah.
What a wild card Pikachu is as a result.
Yeah. I don't think Pikachu's going to survive, unless it's Ash's Pikachu.
I think there's also enough characters that don't rely on tech that he will struggle with most of the fighters.
On the Samus point, kicking Samus out of her suit, she can still fight.
That is true. Is that not a separate character?
Well, from a franchise point of view, if you destroy Samus's suit, she's going to get out and fight as Zero Suit Samus.
You're right. That is much more interesting for this question as well.
Yeah.
That if you can knock Samus out of the suit, just Zero Suit Samus still has some stuff going on. Maybe not quite as strong,
Yeah.
but it's kind of a second life.
Yeah.
So I guess Pikachu doesn't have many good matchups in that case.
No.
No, I think the problem with Pikachu is not actually that powerful a Pokemon. It's just a little mouse thing with some lightning powers.
Let's leave Pikachu off the list for now then. So moving on to everyone's favourite boy,
Green Mario.
Green Mario. Luigi Mario, to give him his full name.
I love Luigi, but I'm unfortunately going to say he's going to end up with Mario.
Yeah. I think Luigi, apart from in the Luigi's Mansion games where he has like a few extra things, just is not as good as Mario.
Yeah, he gets an upgrade due to that, but still.
Yeah.
I think there is one factor about Luigi that you're overlooking, and that is his cowardice. Because we've already established we've got to have quite a large stage to allow for all these characters to fit in, and so there's a chance Luigi could just hunker down somewhere, cower for a while, and end up making the top 3 just because he's not been found for ages. And if they're the right people, he might be able to win.
I think with the amount of bounty hunters and other tracking tech, I think this game has self-balanced against cowardice.
Also, like, his cowardice is played for comedy a lot, so he's going to hide in a really obvious way.
I didn't think about that, you're right.
He's going to hide behind something that's not big enough to hide behind or something like that. Or the thing he's hiding behind turns out to be, like, Snake's cardboard box. And he's just going to get ended there. I like where you're going, but I don't think it gets him...
Let's not do our boy dirty, though. Let's say that thanks to his cowardice, he survives the initial melee and makes top half.
Oh, sure, I'll give him top half.
Yeah, I think he's going to be top 50.
But, yeah, he doesn't make it any further than that.
Yeah, I'm reasonable with that.
Which is pretty good as far as Luigi goes.
So the next character I would like to bring something up about.
Okay.
Bit of a mess, innit? A mess.
Yeah. Ness, while he looks like a little kid with a baseball bat, is an extremely powerful psychic.
Yeah.
If you can somehow resist all the psychic powers, he's just a little kid with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
What do the psychic powers do in the game?
I don't know enough about it, but they do work up to defeating this sort of Lovecraftian alien being of vast power trying to conquer Earth from outer space or something.
Looking at the wiki, his vulnerabilities are hypnosis and paralysis, and we've definitely got characters that can paralyze you. Do we have anyone that can hypnotize?
Arguably, Jigglypuff Sing.
Yes.
If you go for like the you are feeling very sleepy hypnotized type.
Or just the hot bod of Marth, you know.
That's all physical. No.
So looking up his quick list of like powers and abilities for Ness, he's got like teleportation that he can only do if he has a running start for some reason.
Yeah.
Some healing stuff, a couple of things that like do damage in ways, and one move that just says an incredibly powerful psychic move that causes instant death, as well as some other things.
Yeah, the power levels going on in this game are ridiculous because it starts as like a JRPG about kids going around just like locally doing some stuff and then ends with fighting things intergalactically. I don't know.
I think we have to put Ness on the shortlist just
Yeah.
because of the insane range of powers that he has.
Yeah, psychic powers alone are probably enough to get you there.
Yeah.
Though he is a kid, and so I think there is potential to like just get one good hit on him, and that's it.
Yes, the actual body you're fighting against is just
a child.
Like, if he's too busy, like, PK firing Luigi, and then Samus shoots him in the back of the head.
Yeah, exactly, right? You can just kill a child. It's not good, but you can.
Hey, it's not us. Smash Bros. Is making us ask these questions.
Yeah, Smash Bros. Is asking us to kill children.
Hey, I've killed children with a trubbish before. It's
Yeah, fair. But, yeah.
He definitely makes it on the shortlist.
Captain Falcon.
He has a car.
Can punch.
He do be having a car.
These cars are... They're basically fighter jets that are stuck on the ground. You go very fast.
Do they need special tracks?
I don't know. In the games, you only ever go on special tracks, but that's because to make it safe, they have to, like, elevate the track above the city.
Yeah, just do a quick Google for F-Zero.
F-Zero lore. I mean, the first game just looks like it's on a generic, like, Mario Kart style track.
They aren't cars, they are racing machines, because they don't have wheels.
Oh, do they hover or something?
They do hover.
Ah,
yeah.
there you go. So you probably don't need special track.
Yeah.
Unless you need magnets.
But they are going so ridiculously fast that until someone takes out his race machine, he's going to have to kind of go basically round in a circle in whatever bigger... We've got an arena big enough for fighter jets, but to have the advantage of speed, he's going to have to keep going round and not be able to focus on anyone.
Yeah.
He's going to, like, drive around really fast, run over as many people as possible.
Until he meets Sonic, who is the fastest thing alive and can defeat him. Just pull him out of the car, throw him against the wall, and he just dies.
I feel like Captain Falcon has a really good strategy for surviving, though not necessarily getting many kills,
Yeah.
apart from the fact that there are a couple of hard counters.
Yes.
I also think the fighter jets are hard counter to him because they can be above the battlefield and just shoot him from above.
Yeah. I mean, I was considering, like, Snake just laying down a mine, and when it drives over it, boom, gone.
Yeah.
I mean, Snake has a rocket launcher, so also boom.
Man do be having a rocket launcher, I suppose.
Kirby can turn into a big, like, 1,000-ton weight.
Yeah, like, I think Captain Falcon will make it relatively far, but I think he will get stopped by enough things.
Yeah.
However, have we considered the car OP?
Car is pretty OP.
The car is OP. I think put him in the A tier.
Top tier, number one.
Yeah.
He does, however, lose most of his Smash Bros. Moves.
Yeah.
But as you proved earlier to me by sending me that clip from the anime, he does still have a Falcon Punch.
Yes, but all the other ones are made up to fit out his moveset.
But it's just a regular punch that he just shouts Falcon Punch before doing.
Well, there's some lightning.
Well, it does a zoom out, here's the whole universe for some reason. Look at this line that conveniently goes perpendicular to the galaxy so it doesn't destroy anything.
I don't quite know what's going on the power level of his abilities, but he only has Falcon Punch.
And Falcon Punch is OP, so we already have a winner. End of episode.
Yeah, I think definitely A rank.
Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff is a good counter to a lot of people, but I think that Jigglypuff on its own has no chance.
Jigglypuff can't really eliminate anyone.
Yeah.
Jigglypuff's going to like go into one of the buildings and just start singing, and anyone who comes into the building is going to fall asleep. And then Jigglypuff's going to walk up and slit their throat. But like, if you're far enough away to not hear the singing or are immune to it in some way, Jigglypuff's screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was a team game, I'd put Jigglypuff in my team, no questions asked, but I don't think on its own Jigglypuff is going to win any prizes.
I think Jigglypuff just can't really eliminate anyone.
Put them to sleep and then slit their throat.
But Jigglypuff doesn't canonically have knife powers.
Okay, snap their neck.
Pick up Snake's knife after...
They're in this fight where they're fighting to the death, and things are much more brutal than they're used to in their Pokemon world, right? So Jigglypuff just puts them to sleep and then
And
just
draws on their faces.
brutally murders them in some way while they're asleep, because that's what they have to do to try and win.
Now, that's the real game plan. You just draw on all their faces and hope they all die from humiliation when they wake up.
Yes, that too. There is a scene in the Pokemon anime. Team Rocket are in this like freezing cave, and they're like, we've got to stay awake. If we fall asleep, we'll freeze to death. And Jigglypuff appears in the entrance to the cave with like sinister music, and then it cuts away from them.
Oh my word.
And then Team Rocket were never seen in the Pokemon anime again.
Yeah,
That's weird.
but I don't think Jigglypuff is getting that.
No. What about Princess Peach?
Also not going to win this Battle Royale. I'm sorry for the Peach stance here.
We should do Peach and Daisy together.
Yeah, Peach and Daisy are the same character, essentially.
Yeah.
Dies to guillotine, firstly. So, we've got that going.
Yeah, fair, okay.
But also doesn't really have many powers, apart from Monarchy.
Any of the games where she's playable, she has access to most of the powers that Mario has.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Like in the the re-release of the Mario game, she gets all of the different suits that also Mario gets. So like the Fire Flower, the Tanuki suit.
This does bring up the does Mario get his items question again.
We gave Captain Falcon a car. I think we can give Mario his suits.
Yeah. But just one.
It's only because in the games he doesn't start with the items, he picks them up in the world, that I'm not confident of that.
You can carry one as a backup item in a lot of the Mario games.
Yeah.
Okay, Mario can have one item.
And that's the same for Peach in this, for example, where like you can go in with a Fire Flower as your backup item.
I don't think that is enough to put Peach on the shortlist.
No, I don't think Peach is doing it.
I think a good argument for why Peach doesn't make it very far is the next character. Because that's Bowser, who frequently kidnaps her.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, Bowser like hard counters Peach, because even if Peach is super powerful with the weird powers she might have access due to being a playable Mario character, canonically, it's never enough to stop Bowser from capturing her.
But he often just gets his goons to do it.
Bowser can breathe fire, he can turn into a turtle shell, he can be picked up by his tail by Mario, which does imply Mario is very strong.
Or Bowser's very light.
In some of the games, he becomes like a super huge Giga Bowser thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He has access to a plethora of random vehicles and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like the floating clown car is probably his most famous one.
Yeah.
So he's got access to a lot of stuff, mostly because he's been around for so long in games.
Yeah.
Like his first appearances are just a Bowser that shoots fire at you, then you get over and beat.
Yeah.
Gets roasted by a bridge disappearing underneath him.
Does he have a space traveling pirate ship that he did in Odyssey?
Yeah, that's an example of one of the games just gives him this stuff that's absurd.
Yeah.
Or a top hat with boxing gloves that pop out the side of it.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, hats in Odyssey are just OP.
I think Bowser should definitely make it to the next round.
Yeah, I think so.
He probably won't get too far on it because his weaknesses tend to be being beaten by a hero.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, like pride, overconfidence, anger issues.
Running into pads that are definitely made of lava and then going, ow, 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 now I'm in a damage phase.
Yeah, so I don't think he's smart enough, even though he's like sneaky.
Yeah, he is powerful enough to make it to the top however many, but he is not that smart.
The next characters
Well,
are going to be, I think, one of our lowest scoring things in the entire thing.
Yes.
Because it's the ice climbers, and they are just two kids in ice climbing suits who climb a mountain with some mallets to hit things sometimes. That's it.
And also, one of them dies of grief if the other one dies, so, that's probably a bad power to have.
The best thing they've got going is one of them baiting out an enemy and the other one, like, knocking them around the back of the head with their mallets.
Yeah.
They're from a game where mostly it's just avoiding things and climbing, and there's no, like, superpowers. There's nothing of that going on.
yeah.
I think they would beat Link in a climbing challenge, but apart from that, they're not beating anyone in anything.
Yeah, they might be the actual bottom character of the entire thing.
Yeah.
I think we've got someone who could arguably worsen them coming up in just a minute. But for now, let's move on to Sheik.
Oh, yeah, so Sheik and Zelda used to be the same character, and actually, to be honest, they are the same character.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, spoilers for Ocarina of Time. Zelda and Sheik are the same character.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
So they used to be characters that could transform into each other with their B down.
Yeah.
They've separated them so they can have their own interesting movesets. A bit like Zero Suit Samus and Samus.
Okay, if they are canonically the same character, let's consider them together.
Unlike the Mario games, the Zelda games actually make like a weak argument for monarchy, with the monarchs actually being able to do stuff in some of the games.
Yeah, like Zelda is the heir to an ancient power that helps her defeat the darkness.
And if we're taking Zelda from the Hyrule Warriors series, like, she's pretty good.
Well, in the Hyrule Warriors series, she gets the Sheikah Slate rather than Link.
The Sheik Slate.
But importantly here, Sheik's a ninja who could do ninja things.
Yeah.
Zelda, she loses her moveset from Smash Bros.
Yes.
I was going to ask that. How many of those powers does she have actually in the Legend of Zelda series?
She varies from game to game of how cool and good she is at everything.
So the thing she has in Smash Bros. She doesn't get, because they are actually spells that Link has in Ocarina of Time.
Gotcha.
However, in quite a few of the games, she's the one who shoots the bow of light. Not always, sometimes it's Link, but she gets that, which in some games, those are the arrows that like one-shot all enemies except bosses.
Oh.
She's also been a pirate in one of the games until she's found out she was Zelda. Oh, spoilers for Wind Waker. Tetra is Zelda.
Coming in with the 20-year spoilers.
She also has enough power to lock the strongest version of Ganon away for like a century. She has one of the pieces of Triforce. She's got the one that effectively makes her magical stuff ridiculous. Link's got the one that makes him like the best fighter, and Ganondorf's the one that makes him the most physically powerful. So it's implied in a lot of things that Zelda's a really good wizard. But in some games, she's just damseled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you need her to like help seal away Ganon.
Okay.
Although one of the ones I'm thinking about, while she's busy being damseled, she also is sneaking out and being a ninja in her spare time.
Okay. So I guess, is what Zelda is capable of good enough to survive a battle royale?
Sheik might.
Yeah.
And by extension, Zelda might.
Yeah.
But then just a regular ninja compared to some of the people we've got.
Yeah, I don't think she's super strong in here.
Yeah, but backed up with magic powers from the Zelda half.
Yeah.
Like, if Zelda Sheik is fighting with access to both sides of things,
Yes.
a ninja who can also do some magic stuff might be good. But I think that Zelda ends up on the sort of level with Bowser where she's good enough to get to the end, but I don't think she's actually got a chance of winning.
Fair enough.
Let's send Zelda to Gamelon and move on to Dr. Mario.
Now, this is what I was alluding to when I said there might be someone weaker than Ice Climbers. Because Dr. Mario in his games just chucks pills into a bottle and lets you deal with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make a good point.
I think it's not worth discussing Dr. Mario anymore. He's a useless boy.
Yeah, okay. Dr. Mario at the bottom.
Yeah.
At the bottom.
Pichu, strictly worse than Pikachu.
Yeah.
Moving on. Already discussed Falco with Fox. Moving on.
Yeah, I think Falco and Fox go together.
One of them will make it. Which one we'll decide later.
And now we get into my zone, because it's time to start talking about Fire Emblem.
And you've already talked a lot about Zelda, so...
Yeah. Hey, I'm a Nintendo fan. We've got Marth as the first Fire Emblem character in the Smash series. Marth's in this interesting point where he's your normal hero with his sword going out to like save the world from an evil empire that's taken over it and defeat the evil dragon that leads it. But other than that, his main thing is good with a sword, has a really good sword, but the thing that actually gets him through it the most is all of his friends.
Ah, the power of friendship.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Fire Emblem characters, power of friendship helps a lot, but I think Marth especially.
Yeah.
Especially if we're talking about Lucina as well. Like, I think Lucina is just better than Marth.
They're going to end up in a similar place because Lucina travels back through time to help her dad not die, and that's the plot of her game.
Yeah.
But they also defeat maybe a bigger bad guy at the end.
Yes.
But Marth's main thing is he can kill dragons really good.
Yep.
There is going to be a Fire Emblem character there's probably going to be two Fire Emblem characters who I put as better than the other ones, but Marth is not it.
Sounds like Marth probably isn't making it that far. Might do okay because he's just a good swordman.
Yeah, he gets as far as a person who is good with sword does.
And it sounds like that's similar with the next character, Lucina?
Yeah, she's maybe slightly better because of the things she overcomes seem like a bigger deal, but to the same point, yeah, she gets as far as person who is good with sword does.
Okay.
And has a little help from her friends.
Oh, she comes from later Fire Emblem games, so she has access to some cool skills. That's not that important, but it does make her slightly better.
Fair enough. Nonetheless, I'm going to leave these two off the shortlist for now.
Yeah.
Next up is young Link, who I will argue is just Link but younger and therefore less experienced and therefore less good.
Well, one, Young Link is the same Link as Ocarina of Time Adult Link. They just flip back and forth.
Okay.
Like, you can flip back to Young Link and have all the memories and experience of Adult Link.
Right, okay.
But Young Link has a game to himself, which is Majora's Mask. And in Majora's Mask, that's the one actually where Link can slow and speed up time. It's also where he gets access to something called the Fierce Deity Mask, which is a mask he puts on to make him into a basically demigod version of Link to deal with the final boss.
What the hell?
Yeah, I think Young Link with masks is pretty good.
Yeah, the defining thing of Young Link compared to Adult Link is the masks.
I'm assuming he's not met with a terrible fate and thus can't rewind time and make sure that he wins all the time.
I think that would defeat the point of this episode if we went, well, he just rewinds until he wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got Byleth for that later, don't worry.
Oh dear.
Young Link just Groundhog Days this.
Yeah, but Young Link's powers come from the masks. It makes him not Link but worse, it makes him Link but different.
Right.
I still think Adult Link, being the one in most of the games, has access to better stuff. So I would argue that Young Link would make it into the top bit, but because we have Link there who's doing better, we shouldn't consider him unless the Fierce Deity Mask does it.
Yeah, I was going to say, if Link and Young Link have a fight, who comes out on top?
I think Young Link is actually a sleeper, very, very powerful.
But he is just a child.
He is.
And therefore, dies to gun.
As the children characters go, I think he's the most.
Yeah, I think he's the best child.
Ness?
I think he's the second best child.
Lucas?
He's the best, like, in combat, in terms of, like, as a fighter.
Yeah.
He's overcome an awful lot as Young Link.
Alright, let's come back to Young Link. I'll chuck him on the list. Let's come back to him.
Staying on theme, we have the big bad. We have Ganondorf himself.
A-star tier, like, there is no conceivable way I don't see Ganondorf being, like, one of the final people.
He's an immortal evil entity with 1/3 of the most powerful artifact in the setting, powering him through sheer spite.
Yeah.
Who can turn into sometimes just a big pig, but sometimes like a big, demonic, world-destroying pig monster.
Let's be real though, even without the world-destroying aspect of it, not a lot of people would come out well in a fight with a big pig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, he, at the height of his power, gets to reshape the world to his will.
Wow.
Yeah.
He gets hold of the whole Triforce.
Oh, does he?
For a moment. Yeah. He gets to make the Triforce wish, which is what it does when you touch the thing.
Ah, Dragon Ball in it.
Yeah, and he becomes like the ruler of the world, and he's not a great ruler, but we're not doing what villain would run the country well.
Now, Ganondorf did not make it into the Run the Country episode.
No, because Hyrule basically goes to crap.
Yeah.
But he do be powerful.
Alright, Ganondorf definitely making it onto this shortlist then.
Mewtwo, straight up, again, A-star tier.
Probably the most powerful Pokemon on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost certainly.
You've seen Pokemon the first movie. It took the entire power of friendship.
It did, and we have already banned the power of friendship from this tournament, therefore Mewtwo wins.
It took persuading him not to be the bad guy to stop him being the bad guy.
Yeah, admittedly, like, Pokemon are lower power level than a lot of the fighters here, so I don't think he's an auto-win.
Yeah.
But he is making it to the shortlist instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the top list was just like best representative from each franchise, Mewtwo is the Pokemon representative.
Definitely.
The story's continued in Detective Pikachu, and he's still OP.
Yeah. And the power of friendship still wins.
Wow.
Spoilers for Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, spoilers, he's a good guy who's being controlled. Anyway.
Oh no, that's big spoilers. Power of friendship, not that big spoilers.
Yeah, fair.
I think we should move on now to a pair of people I like to call Hot Boy Summer.
I do love me some Hot Boy Summer.
Roy and Crom.
So, Crom rates better than Lucina because he's the main lord of his game with her.
Okay.
That's not that much greater, though. Roy is an interesting point, because due to the way they balanced it, he's not actually that great in his own game. But within the canon of his own game, he's pretty damn great.
Roy's our boy.
Again, he's really good at fighting dragons. He also has a sword which can fight back against people with bows and stuff.
Oh, cool.
But we will have someone who's better than that coming up soon.
Yeah. I still think both of these are C tier, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I will leave them off the list then.
These are not the farm characters that I am supporting into the later part of the tournament.
But Roy's our boy.
Oh, he is, but he is just like the teenager son of like a local lord who goes on to save the world. He's just like, I'm just a good guy, and by the power of friendship, we're going to get everyone together and stop the guy who wants to wipe out humanity.
Power of friendship, not allowed. Moving on.
Yeah. And Crom is just a modern remake of Marth, effectively.
Alright, so what about Mr. Game & Watch?
completely RNG dependent.
I think he's also completely OP.
Okay, let's hear the argument.
He's flat.
Fuck, he is.
He doesn't exist in an extra dimension.
Oh, shit.
But then he's also completely UP because he can't fight anyone who's not in his plane.
He can move his plane around, right?
But an infinitely thin thing will perforate through literally anything.
What?
Ah.
But what if they just slash horizontally through him?
Like, he can just walk through you and you fall in half.
But, like, he can't do that if he's not on my plane.
I'm seeing him as being able to rotate his plane.
That's 3D, my man.
But he's still a 2D object. I don't know how to have him exist in this thing. Like, they manage it in Smash Bros. Because Smash Bros. Is on a 2D plane.
I think we should fall back on our in-franchise powers.
Yes.
And not worry about the 3D, 2D.
Yes.
Yeah, he can save people from burning buildings, but that's about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on that, he can spill some oil or pack up a lorry or save people from a burning building.
Okay, so he takes out Captain Falcon because he spills some oil. Captain Falcon slips, dies in a horrible car
Oh, no,
crash.
because that's a hover car.
Oh, you're right. All right, F tier. See you later, Mr. Game & Watch.
Yeah, if it's just on the franchise, he's awful. He makes me want Paper Mario to exist in Smash for
that
this
would be
conversation because Paper Mario, in his setting, is canonically flat.
Yeah.
All the characters are flat paper things, but they can like rotate their plane and move in any direction.
You're right.
And fold up into stuff, and that would be really interesting. We had a person where the flatness mattered.
Yeah. They are paper thin, though, in canon, not infinitely thin.
Yes, but that allows you to do some really silly stuff in terms of surviving.
It does.
Like, you're losing, you just like flat plane into like a tiny gap, or if the Captain Falcon's going to run you over, you just lie down. But unfortunately, Mr. Game & Watch in canon isn't flat, he's just a flat representation. So he sucks, and he's going to now go down with Dr. Mario and the Ice Climbers.
Man, maybe we should be who's the biggest loser of Smash. Anyway, next one is Meta Knight. And based on what you've told me about Kirby, if he's a Kirby rival, he must be pretty strong.
Yeah, so all the Kirby rivals, by association, the fact that when we get to him, King DD isn't dead is kind of absurd.
It's just an accident because Kirby is a being that doesn't care about murder.
Yes. Meta Knight, therefore, is quite strong. When you break off all that stuff around Meta Knight, he just looks like a blue Kirby.
Oh.
I don't think he has Kirby's powers, but underneath he's just a blue Kirby.
Okay.
If people get their vehicle, his vehicle is like a big spaceship.
Okay.
It might be too big to give him. It'd be like giving Fox McCloud the big fox ship.
Like giving Eggman the egg carrier.
Yeah, it's not his individual fighting thing.
Interestingly, Meta Knight has a code of honor where he will always give a sword to his opponent so that he can beat them in a fair fight. So I think this actually buffs quite a lot of other characters that don't have swords.
That's really funny.
If they come across him first.
Yeah.
Meta Knight's first court of order is to fly around the arena giving everyone a sword that doesn't have one. That's how Jigglypuff slits people's throats.
Oh yeah, that sorts that. Meta Knight meets Jigglypuff first, gives her a sword, she sings him to sleep, kills him, and now has two swords, I guess.
Oh my word, Jigglypuff might win this after all. I'm gonna make a note of the Jigglypuff Meta Knight combo, but otherwise I don't think he is that big a deal.
No.
Now, does anyone know about the Kid Icarus series?
Well, firstly, I think it's a bit weird to call it Kid Icarus, because I don't think Icarus survived much longer than childhood.
Yeah, fair. Also, Pit's wings don't burn off when he gets too close to the sun.
Which is kind of Icarus's whole deal.
The series is called Kid Icarus, but he's just called Pit, I think.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Kid Icarus to really comment, but I do know that Paulina's like a goddess or something.
Yeah, she also gives him all his powers. So arguably, she just takes away his powers to win the competition.
Pit might have a chance in... Actually, no, Pit will just be shot down by the flying squad, won't he?
Yeah.
I think Pit and Dark Pit get shot down by the flying squad. That's the end of that.
Oh my word, he has so many goddamn powers. Alright, from a very brief glance through, some of his strongest powers are things like meteor swarms and laser beams, which are strong, don't get me wrong, but given that's the upper bounds of his powers,
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big a deal compared to some of the other characters we've discussed.
Like I said, it is all granted by Palutena, and she is an opponent in this competition.
Yes.
She might not take it away straight away, but it's like as soon as Pit is a problem for Palutena, he will lose his powers.
Does Dark Pit fix the Palutena nerf? As in, Dark Pit is obviously a dark version and thus doesn't get his powers from Palutena.
That is a good question. So Dark Pit might be better than Pit.
But still dies to being shot.
Yes, out the sky by a starfighter.
Yeah, that's true. They both just get shot out of the sky.
Yeah, there's like really heroic intro as they're like swooping in and they're like Dark Pit and Pit like fighting in the sky with their swords and their bows, and then it's like blam blam and they just both die.
Alright, anyway, moving on. The next one is Zero Suit Samus, but we've lumped that in with Samus.
Yeah, she is Samus.
She's essentially a second life for Samus. Having a second life is a big boon in this sort of scenario.
Yeah.
I think we need to move on to the Elon Musk of the Mario universe, Wario.
I can't believe you would insult my boy Wario like that.
Like, the best he's going to do is invent a cryptocurrency to sell people weapons, but he's going to die way before that.
He does have a motorbike, though.
He does have a motorbike.
But the arena is shrinking, and we have people that can blow up motorbikes.
You forget one of his most powerful abilities, which is stench.
Yeah, I think he just dies.
He might just suffocate everyone. No, he's not making it.
We do have a solid contender in Snake.
Is that the naked truth?
He has a rocket launcher. I think that is the key to ending the aerial battle.
He does have military tech.
So Snake overcomes an awful lot of stuff in his games.
He definitely blows up a helicopter with a rocket launcher, so we've got
okay.
that covered.
So the Starfighters have a bit of a duke it out and then they get knocked down to the ground, as long as Snake's still in it, I guess.
He's still around.
Yeah.
He also probably deals with the car. As you said earlier, it's the mines, right?
Yeah.
He's got C4.
Yeah. I mean, if he can deal with a big mech, which I think is what happens at the end of Metal Gear Solid, he can deal with Rob. And also, like, any of the other people who are in flying technology. But I don't know if he can win. He can hide out.
He's got guns.
Yeah, he has guns, but like he is tactical stealth action, not action.
I think that's actually one of the biggest reasons that he might have a real good shot at winning is because in his games, a cardboard box is basically invisible.
It's true.
And so he just climbs into his cardboard box, waits for several hours, pops back out when there's one person left being like, where the fuck is the last enemy? And pops him in the back of the head.
But consider Sephiroth just like moving his sword around and accidentally touching the cardboard box.
I was going to say Charizard's busy burning someone and the box just catches on fire.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It is an upgrade to Luigi's cowardice strategy.
Yes.
But
Oh yeah, for someone who has no powers, Snake will do very well, but then he will lose the late game to dudes who have powers.
yeah, possibly even Samus, just because the future tech is presumably stronger than current tech.
Potentially even gets around his sneaking, because Samus has a bunch of visors in her helmet that can detect things.
Infrared and shit, yeah.
And also other characters are going to have ways of knowing where things are beyond just looking.
Yeah.
So yeah, Snake has a good chance of getting far, but not actually winning, I don't think.
I'm going to keep Snake noted on this shortlist just for the point of view that he might be important for other characters not winning.
Yeah, that's why Captain Falcon doesn't have a car anymore.
Yeah, precisely. Captain Falcon's going to get absolutely toasted just because Snake exists.
If he can't set up the C4 trap, he's going to have to send like a Seeker missile after him, and it's going to chase him just round and round and round and round.
And as soon as Captain Falcon slows down, which we know that he never does.
So he's just stuck looping forever, yeah. Now, I have a particular Fire Emblem character that I like.
Do you have a fondness for this character?
Yeah, he does hold my fondness. He fights for his friends, and I would like to say that I like Ike.
We like Ike.
I also
We
like Ike.
Now, Ike might not be the best Fire Emblem character, but arguably he's in the running for them, because he has all of those traits we talked about earlier about being a swords person and everything. However, he kills a goddess.
Oh.
That's pretty powerful.
In a fair fight, or does he get the jump on him?
There's like a pitched battle with all these like things she summons defending her.
Uh-huh.
And then his sword has been blessed by a different goddess. And he has to strike the final blow with that sword to be able to defeat the bad goddess.
Right, okay.
He also fights huge dragons. His Ragnell is a ranged sword that shoots blue sword beams.
Okay.
So he's got a ranged weapon in his sword. He's, I think, the first lord to ever have Ether, which is a special move where it like destroys your defenses and heals him back up when he hits you.
Ooh.
Which is something that hasn't come up much. Other characters do have some healing things, but like he's got it built into his abilities rather than like getting a one-up mushroom.
Yeah.
And also, out of most of the Fire Emblem characters, he's got experience on his side as well. He's been fighting for most of his life, fighting as a mercenary. He's not just like a prince like Marth is.
Right, okay. He is still essentially just a regular fighter, though.
Yes, later Fire Emblem characters are going to outstrip that, but he is currently the top of the ones we've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he will consistently make, like, top 25, but that's about it.
And then he'll get shot in the head by Samus.
Yeah, I think...
And then he'll dodge that
unfortunately-
shot, because he's quite good at dodging, and then he'll counter with his sword beam, and she'll die.
Oh, in that case, fucking number one. Put Ike top of the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main issue we have, if you're a normal human doing your thing, you're not going to win this.
Yeah. Pokemon Trainer, I think we shouldn't count out because Ivysaur is also a good counter to a lot of vehicle users. But apart from that, I don't think there's much hope.
I think the problem with Pokemon Trainer is that it's Pokemon Trainer and not the Pokemon.
Yes.
We assume that they have their Pokemon.
Yeah, but if you just shoot Pokemon Trainer...
Yes, precisely.
Oh yeah, dice to gun.
There's a chance that we should be considering these three as separate characters.
Okay, so if it is Pokemon Trainer...
They lose.
Though the Pokemon are good, Pokemon Trainer is a weak-ass bitch and therefore will die quite early.
And therefore they've lost even if their Charizard is still alive.
Yeah.
Correct. If it's the Pokemon, which Pokemon do we think would stand the best chance to win by themselves?
It's probably Charizard.
Yeah, Charizard.
And do we think that Charizard would get very far in this tournament?
It is just an extremely strong big lizard.
Yeah.
I think Charizard is like on par with Donkey Kong, who was our baseline, but I think most of the people on this list have moved that baseline up by now.
Yes.
So I don't think I can put Pokemon Trainer on the shortlist in good conscience.
I guess in shell form, the Squirtle can hide somewhere for quite a while.
Can do, but has the same problem as anyone hiding.
Yeah, that loses when they pop out.
Yeah.
Talking about our baseline of Donkey Kong, here's his nephew?
His little buddy?
He's one of the members of the DK crew.
It's Diddy Kong, who I think doesn't get past the Donkey Kong line. He does have a jetpack and guns, though.
You do have Jetpack and Peanut Gun.
Yeah. I think just Peanut Gun versus regular gun.
If everyone happens to be allergic to peanuts, then he might win.
Yeah, Diddy's out. Diddy's just out. Diddy sucks.
Diddy's out.
Yep, okay. What about Lucas?
I don't know where Lucas compares to Ness.
Yeah, I think he's joining in the Ness bucket for now, and then we can look into it later.
That
Yeah.
seems like a good idea.
Rather than a baseball bat, he has, like, a snake.
He does have a snake.
Who wins out of Bat and Snake?
Yeah, like, he doesn't have the same power set, but he has a similar power set to Ness.
Yeah. I have put him next to Ness in that we will pick one of them later.
Yeah. Who is after Lucas? Oh,
Oh, this is where I shine for once.
Sonic the Hodgepodge.
Blue Speed Mouse TM.
Blue Speed Mouse.
Sonic the Hedgehog. He fast.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And it's kind of OP how fast he is, but he's as fast as the narrative needs him to be, right?
Yeah.
Yes. He's invulnerable as long as he has a ring, but no one really has any rings, so he's got 2 hit points.
Yeah, like a lot of other characters can take multiple hits, and Sonic can take 2.
Yeah.
If he can get all of the 7 Dragon Balls, Chaos Emeralds, then he would just win.
That's in a similar park to, like, young Link getting the Fierce Deity Mask.
Yeah.
The slight difference there is we said you can bring in 1 item, so Sonic can bring in 1 of the Chaos Emeralds and be 1/7 of the way towards being supersonic. Speed can be OP, but is it actually OP in this scenario? Let's assume he is faster than anything else here.
In the Archie Comics version, he is, quote-unquote, the fastest thing alive.
Yeah, but it's also running around at the speed of sound, which is not the fastest thing alive.
Well, no, that's the fastest thing alive.
Oh,
'cause
no,
things
you're
that
right.
break the speed barrier are not alive.
Yeah.
And if they do break the sound barrier, it's in tiny, tiny bursts, not at like a constant running speed.
Yeah.
So he is stupidly fast, and that can be OP, but it doesn't overcome everything.
Yeah.
Again, he might fall for the C4 trap.
He might, yeah.
If he comes across a thing that's extremely tough, like Bowser probably can't beat him, but he probably can't beat Bowser.
Yeah. I think I'm going to chuck Sonic on this shortlist, but I think he sits in a world where he can't lose, but he can't win.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Well, I think he does end up like losing to some of the characters who don't need to get a position on him. Like Mewtwo's got psychic abilities. They don't need to aim, right? You just go into his head.
Yeah, you're right. I think he gets ignored for a long while. And then at some point people go, oh, let me deal with this fucking hedgehog. And then loses.
Yeah. Also, his attitude and his cockiness might be his undoing.
Yep, almost certainly.
Okay, shall we go to King DDD?
I think we discussed a lot of King DD's things with Meta Knight.
Yes.
The fact he's actually an opponent for Kirby is impressive, but because he's never going to keep up with Kirby,
Yeah.
I'm not saying like Kirby needs to be the line, but like out of the representatives from his game, he's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olimar.
I think he just dies.
Yeah, he doesn't have the power of friendship, so he's just dies to gun.
He does.
I think you have to give him a selection of Pikmin to make him actually be able to compete.
Sure.
But they're pathetic.
I think arguably that is not a power of friendship, that is actually just a power he has.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are still not very useful.
Yeah, like they're good at overcoming the puzzles that he has to overcome on the planet he's on. Also, canonically, isn't Olimar like 3 inches tall or something?
Probably does help.
He might survive by not being noticed.
But the things he deals with are tiny problems in this world that seem big because everything's scaled to him.
Yes.
But that means his effect on the other characters is going to be
minuscule. He has no way of winning.
Even if you scale him up to make him interesting, like he throws a Pikmin at someone and they just like...
They go, ow, what?
Yeah, and then murder him. He doesn't have any combat abilities in and of himself.
Yeah, if only he thought to bring a gun to space, he might have been alright.
Yeah, they have spaceships. Why don't they have guns?
Oh dear, what a goon, Olimar.
We do, however, have a Pokemon who might be in a similar class to Mewtwo. We've got Lucario, who has the magical, mystical power of Aura, which is like this key focus energy. It's basically Mewtwo psychic powers, this thing funky martial art magic powers.
There was a Pokemon movie about it.
Just like Mewtwo had a movie showing how OP Mewtwo is, Lucario had a movie focused on him, and that kind of does elevate him above most of the other Pokemon.
Yeah. I still don't think he's as good as Mewtwo. I
You're
think
probably right.
he is basically just a fighting type Pokemon at the end of the day.
Well, fighting steel.
Someone knows his type matchups.
The way they do it in Smash Bros. Is the more hurt he is, the more damage he does. So what he really needs to do, if he was the Smash Bros. Lucario, is like take a bullet, like right near death, and then just kill everyone. But we're using Pokemon where that's not a thing.
He might be able to read minds, which is a pretty big deal.
That's a pretty big deal.
But Mewtwo's just fully psychic.
Yeah, Mewtwo doesn't need to get punched to be able to do that.
Yeah, Lucario just doesn't compete with Mewtwo. Probably does well, but again, we're making a short list.
Yeah.
Apparently Ash uses Aura at some point. I'm done with this.
Probably in the movie.
Yeah.
So, we earlier talked about big mech things as a thing that Snake takes down. Can he take down a mech that's actually just a toy that you have on your desk?
Wait, what?
It's Rob.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So, Canonical Rob is a peripheral for, is it the SNES?
It's made out of plastic. It looks like a robot.
Yeah, Canonical Rob is just a plastic toy.
Oh my word, you're right.
I don't think Rob is going to go very far.
Yeah.
The only argument I can possibly make for Rob is that he's the only one that can win by being the only one that's real.
Fair enough.
That defeats the entire point of this episode.
That does defeat the entire point.
You could argue that Rob is actually the only character who gets to use Smash Bros. Canon.
Ah.
Because his only game appearances are Smash Bros. Canon.
Interesting.
They're a major deal in Brawl. Like, there's an army of Robs, and one of them is working with the bad guy, but then, like, turns side with you. So, at best, he gets his Smash Bros. Moveset.
I don't think that defeats the cosmic entities we're going up against here.
Yeah.
Or he's a peripheral, and someone walks up and unplugs him. Or no, he's a peripheral. He doesn't do anything. He just sits there.
He just sits there.
He's actually just number 2 because everyone thinks, oh, it's just a USB peripheral, and then... it's
Wait,
like,
what? There's still one more opponent left? Who? This thing?
Oh,
okay.
crunch.
We have Toon Link, which is Link number 3, and I think this is probably the weakest Link.
Again, it's just Link, but different.
Yeah.
He's got a different set of powers. He's got a different set of kit. I think a Link gets into the top group.
Yeah, but I don't think it's this Link.
I don't know which one it is. It's probably not this one. This one's cool and all, but like his power set is actually a lot more tame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spirit Tracks Link has a train,
That is pretty cool.
but that's stuck on tracks, so
yeah.
Minish Cap is probably the most interesting one because he can go really small and like sneak inside things and like murder them from the inside.
I think a Majora's Mask is probably a similar level of power.
Yeah. And Adult Link gets all the links because he's just a representative of all the other ones that aren't in a specific game, and that gives him the widest power set. So Toon Link, no.
No.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
See you, Toon Link.
So, Wolf. Wolf is again joining the 3. Is this where we're having this discussion and deciding who makes it to the final?
I think so, because we've hit the third one. I'd make the argument he's the one who's least likely... Well, okay, there's 2 ways this can go. The other 2 will team up on him first, and then Falco will shoot down Fox, because Fox is honourable and would be like, hey, Falco, we should work together. And so they take out Wolf, and then Falco's like, I'm the hotshot who wants everything, and shoots down Fox. However, there's a chance that Fox and Falco are like, hey, the 3 of us should try and work together because we're the only ones with starships. And Wolf betrays them both and murders them. I actually think Fox is the least likely of the three to win out.
But he's the protagonist.
Yeah, because he's like too much of a goody two-shoes.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I also think Falco.
I think it's Falco, and then once he's shot down, he struggles more than Fox does.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if Falco is known as the ace pilot, it makes sense that the best pilot would come out on top there.
Yeah.
And Fox is not teaming up with Wolf to take down Falco just because Falco is a better pilot.
Yeah. He's teaming up with his teammate to take down Wolf and then getting shot down.
Yeah.
Fox would do better on the ground because he's got access to an entire adventure game on the ground with a bunch of mystical powers and a magic staff.
Oh.
But because he gets shot down, I guess if he gets shot down, he then gets out. Like, they don't die when they get shot down, I guess, in this. I guess they get out, and then Falco is the last one in his ship.
Yeah, he probably has like a parachute or something.
Do they have ejector seats in any of the games? I go as far as does Fox McCloud, and the default ones are have legs or have a girlfriend. Does he have an ejector seat?
I'd assume that the intergalactic safety regulations or whatever would mean that they have to have an ejector seat.
So it seems like one of Fox's allies has an ejector seat in their ship, and they are both using air wings, so therefore...
I mean, I wouldn't let my ace pilots fly if there's a possibility that we can recover them if they get shot down.
However, as soon as they eject, they just get shot out of the air.
I feel like most of their power comes from being in the air anyway, so even if they make it to the ground, they then don't get to compete, really. Guns, but...
I think we have argued this trio off of this shortlist.
Yes.
They have a cool air fight, and then they all die.
Yes. That's the cool opening scene to the movie, where there's a starfight. We follow one of them as they crash. They climb out of their crashed R-Wing, and then just blam blam in the back of the head, like Snake kills them, right? Like,
That's how you know it's a battle royale amongst the Smash characters.
yeah. We get to go to a very different setting next, to a quaint little town, sometimes on an island. It's Villager.
Unfortunately, I don't think Villager's got much going for him.
Yeah, their breadth of things in canon is doing the things you need to do to make a village work.
Yeah.
Like digging holes to plant things in and chopping down trees.
If there was an Imperial invasion into Animal Crossing, you're just going to get stomped. I'm sorry.
In spite of the impressive strength that it takes to cut down a tree in just 3 swings,
Just a really good axe.
it's just not enough to get very far in this fight.
Yeah, they're one of the ones that loses out a lot.
Let's move on to Mega Man.
Mega Man is pretty cool and has access to a lot of different weaponry.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a lot of games, you get some cool powers, like an upgrade that lets you do some mystical stuff or whatever. But all Mega Man does is get cooler weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mega Man defeats boss, gets weapon, defeats boss, gets more weapon, uses weapon weaknesses against boss.
Yeah, so he has a nice spread of weapons to pick against people who have particular weaknesses.
Yes.
But he doesn't have any sort of extra ability beyond that.
But what about the Leaf Man powers?
Yeah,
Fucking Leaf Man.
he's really good against Pokemon Trainer.
Yeah, he just has elemental type advantage locked.
Yeah. He might be bottom half, though.
Yeah.
Next up is Wii Fit Trainer. Next up is Rosalina and Lumia.
Yeah. So Rosalina and Luma are...
Thank you for pronouncing it correctly.
That's okay. She's like a goddess who controls galaxies or something.
Ugh.
She has actual magic.
Okay.
I mean, she floats on a ship and Mario goes
But the ship
to...
controls a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah. I don't think her true power level has been revealed.
So what do we know that they can do in the games that they're in?
She's referred to as like this mystical entity, but she doesn't...
She hasn't done anything apart from power of spaceship. Isn't she like the mother to the Lumas?
What I'm hearing, though, is that she essentially doesn't have any powers that we're aware of in the game.
She resets the universe back to a pre-destroyed state.
Okay, so she Groundhog Days herself, much like whichever Link it was.
At the end of the game, everything's going bad, and you help her restore her magic to save it.
And then you can then play as Luigi.
Basically, the universe is going through an event similar to the Big Bang, as in it's re-exploding because everything's getting sucked through a black hole. And thanks to her magic, she restores it to its original state, saving everyone.
Sure.
She's a space wizard.
So, she could arguably reset the universe such that this question never happened,
Yeah.
but that's about as good as it gets for her.
Yeah, I think she's very powerful, but the games are very shy with what that actually means.
Well, if she's also coy about using her powers, she ain't gonna go very far in a fight.
Yeah.
I think as a result, I'm not gonna include her on the shortlist.
Yeah.
Roasted. Alright, everyone's favourite rapper, Lil Mac.
He's just a boxer.
Just a boxer. A very fast boxer. Like, he's that kind of boxer. The sort
Right,
of
yeah.
dodgy quick punch one rather than the sort of broody
A
one.
dodgy boxer.
But again, he's just a boxer.
He's the guy in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?
Yes.
Yeah. He can punch out Mike Tyson.
So if Mike Tyson was on this list,
Yeah. But I think he's too little.
he's down in the, like, ice climbers section.
Yeah.
He's better than them, but he's down in that section.
He is down in that section. He is better than Ice Climbers, Dr. Mario, and probably Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah. So we should hop on to everyone's favourite water frog ninja.
I don't have many other candidates, but sure.
I was going to say the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they're turtles, they're not frogs.
Yep. It's Greninja, who, out of the Pokemon, is a decently powerful one, but is probably beaten out by Mewtwo and Lucario.
Yeah.
Is just a water frog ninja, doesn't have any like mystical powers that can really elevate them.
Yeah, like on par with like Charizard or something. Has a type advantage, but yeah.
Yeah, no, not making the cut.
However, the next thing is a bit of a confusing question, and we might actually just have to disqualify them.
Oh, right, the Mii Fighters.
Yeah, there's 3 Mii fighters. This is the only way to play as Sans from Undertale.
I mean, I think Sans from Undertale would have a much better chance of winning this.
With Sans Undertale in the mix, everyone else is going to have a bad time.
Yeah, the Mii fighters, I think, because they don't have a thing outside of the game, it's even worse than Rob. Rob is a peripheral and has a story in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. The Mii fighters are your Mii
Yeah.
with some costumes. All of the powers they have are from Smash.
Yep, I think the only way we can possibly discuss the Mii Fighters is if we take Sans Undertale, and the problem with Sans Undertale is that most of his fighting prowess is in the meta bullshit whereby he doesn't take a turn and therefore you can't fight him.
Yes.
That doesn't work in a real-time fight. So, Mii Fighters, get out of here.
Now, we showed that we weren't very knowledgeable about Kid Icarus.
But we do know that Palutena is a goddess.
Palutena?
Palutena. Yeah.
I say Palutena. I don't know what's right.
I say Sephiroth.
We'll get to him.
Okay.
Most of her stuff is granting powers to Kid Icarus, Pit, so he can go off and do his thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, her other stuff just seems to be like arbitrary magic bullshit, like magic missile style things, laser beams, you know.
It's in this really weird area for us because she's a goddess, which means she can just make things happen by her existence.
She can grant Pit grind rails.
She is either OP because she's a goddess and she's like one of the top goddesses in her setting, or we don't know enough about her and therefore she just exists.
Yeah.
If she can grant all this crazy stuff that lets Pit become OP, maybe she can grant it to herself?
Alright, I'm gonna go about some real roundabout bullshit way of arguing this. So, we don't see her fight in the game, so that's a bit of a wash. However, God maybe is immortal. However, Hades is in these games, and in the game Hades, when a god dies, they just go to like the underworld and be like, I'm not actually dead. Therefore, she can be killed in this fight.
And respawn outside of it.
Correct. And therefore, she will not make it very far.
Yeah, maybe. But can she just change existence by existing?
Everyone changes existence by existing.
What I mean is, like, the idea of what a god or a goddess is like, by their nature, they are in control of some aspect of existence.
But also, like, there are opposing gods that therefore will be trying to, like, stop them from doing anything.
Well, yeah, it depends on the setting. I assume she has opposing gods.
Yeah, she is opposed to, apparently, Medusa, who is also a god.
Ah, yes, my favourite Greek god.
Fair enough.
It not perfect system.
Yeah, I mean, her thing seems to be more about giving powers to Kid Icarus, as you were saying, rather than actually fighting herself.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't think she'd hold up very well in a fight. In fact, she might drag down Pit with her because she doesn't want to give him any powers. The fool.
So that she doesn't lose.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So actually, I think she takes someone down with her instead of actually doing anything useful.
Yeah, she's the reason why the Pits can't do very well.
Other than the fact that they're not very good.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah, go for it.
It's everyone's favourite video game, Pac-Man.
Waka Waka.
He do be eating all those dots. He doesn't have any powers in his
No.
video game. He eats the dots, he becomes invincible to ghosts and can eat ghosts.
Yeah.
What a shame there are no ghosts.
So, he just loses.
I was trying to think of what is a ghost in this setting, and I've got nothing.
No.
King Boo is not a character in the game. If he was, he would have one good matchup. As it stands, he is slightly better than Dr. Mario.
Yep. In his games, he's not, like, he doesn't really function within a realistic space, so he gets to cheat a little bit, but not enough to actually win, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can go off the left edge of the giant arena and appear on the right edge,
Yeah.
but that is as good as his powers get.
But if he keeps doing that in this arena, he'll survive for ages.
He will until two people post up on opposite sides.
Yeah, fair.
One hit and he die.
He does have but one hit, yes.
Okay, so are we on to everyone's favourite Robin boy?
Gee Willikers, Batman.
Right, so Robin is a Fire Emblem character.
What?
Alright, tell us about this character, Jamie.
This one is a player insert. You get to customize Robin, change their looks, change their hair, change what they're good at. So when Robin got into Smash, I was like, what? I don't know who this character is. I played as me.
Gotcha.
So Robin is not really blank slatey. They have character. In terms of powers, normal weapon stuff, they also are known for using magic, which is a leg up on a lot of the Fire Emblem characters.
Mm-hmm.
However, Robin is actually the vessel of the evil dragon god thing that destroyed the world and made Lucina go back in time to try and stop it happening.
Spoilers for Fire Emblem Awakening, by the way.
Sorry. Spoilers for Fire Emblem Awakening. The Robin from the future has come back to your time as well to try and make you turn into the dragon. However, at no point in the game does player Robin get to actually have these powers. They are the most busted unit in their game because they have access to everything because they're a player insert.
Okay.
Like, they are the most powerful player unit. But if you want Robin to be any good, you need to have Villain Robin as the choice, which I don't think this Robin is. Villain Robin is like a dragon that could, like, blot out the sun.
But all the other Fire Emblem characters are really good at killing dragons.
Yes. However, I don't think this Robin is that Robin.
Okay.
I think this Robin is Master Tactician Robin who fights with swords and tomes. Good Robin's main trait is being the tactician.
And that's not that helpful in the Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Get out of my list.
Pretty much. I don't know anything about the next character.
Yeah, so Shulk.
He has a blade, I think, and maybe the blade is, like, it's a good sword.
I have been attempting to read the Xenoblade wiki. I've skipped the ability section, and it is basically just like, I do cool spin. I can slash air and make shockwave.
Yeah.
Not that good, not that interesting. I'm sure the games are a lot of fun, but based on what I'm reading on the wiki for their power set, probably not really worth spending a lot of time on.
It's also partially Power of Friendship, right?
I think so.
It's a JRPG, and therefore the whole point is you have a team.
Right. Power of Friendship, disqualified, get out of here. Next character.
Next character is going to be quite interesting because it's Bowser Jr. And spoilers for Super Mario Sunshine, Bowser Jr. is like Dark Mario, this like weird goopy Mario who goes around warping the place with this weird magical paint.
Huh.
In terms of actual Bowser, though, I don't think he's really going to keep up. He is just a small Bowser.
Yeah, like from what I know of the little bit I've seen of Bowser Jr. in games, he is quite reliant on gizmos.
Yeah, but we are giving people stuff they come with, but his gizmos aren't even that threatening.
Yeah. I mean, he is often the mini-boss to Bowser's boss.
Yes.
And therefore is weaker than Bowser, and therefore doesn't make it on this list in favour of Bowser.
Yeah.
Alright, next one. Duck Hunt.
They're out.
They're out by, yeah.
It's a real-world duck and a real-world dog.
I don't know, man. A real-world duck and a real-world dog in a fight with gods and immortal beings. That's pretty legit.
Okay, there's one way they could win. Like, they're fighting, one of them goes for an attack, they miss.
Yeah.
And then the dog does the stupid little because, like, he laughs at you if you miss.
Doesn't that just make all the characters want to kill the dog?
No, that just tilts them out so badly that they throw the entire match. That's his only chance, and it's not going to happen.
So, Ryu and Ken. I think Ryu and Ken are similar in their movesets in Street Fighter as well, not just in Smash.
I believe they are effectively echo fighters of each other in Street Fighter. These are Street Fighter fightsmans. They're not necessarily the most powerful things from their setting, but they have some mystical powers.
They do.
Like the Hadouken.
Maybe they are actually gods of the Street Fighter universe, but I don't think so because it's called Street Fighter.
As far as I'm aware, they are just regular dudes who have a few mystical powers.
Yeah.
In that case, shall we move on?
Don't you mean Shoryuken?
Shall you move on?
Yeah, I don't know how to make that work.
Cloud. Cloud is a contender, I think.
He do got that big sword.
He do got that big sword.
So with how late game Final Fantasy works,
Yeah.
like, I know a lot of it is Power of Friendship and everything, but the things that they compete with in the end of their game is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I googled Cloud powers to try and get up to date on this, and the very first result is Cloud manipulation from the Superpower wiki. The power to manipulate clouds.
It's like a subset of weather manipulation that's just way more boring.
Almost word for word what's written on the wiki. Anyway, back to the actual Cloud Man. What he do? Big sword.
I think he ends up in a similar place to like Shulk. It's a JRPG where you do deal with some big things in the end game, but a lot of it is power friendship. I guess the question comes down to the level of threat they've overcome, and I do know that in the late game, Sephiroth effectively tries to make himself into a demigod and destroy the planet.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they do stop that, but they stop it by, they haven't finished the re-release with the new combat, so they do stop it by standing still and waiting their turn and then attacking each other. In a similar way to how Ryu and Ken are martial artists with some mystical powers, Cloud is kind of a sword fighter with some mystical powers.
Yeah. I think we've got more of a chance with Sephiroth than Cloud.
Yes, Sephiroth being the thing they have to overcome and not being part of a party that have to work together to take him down.
Yeah.
Even though Cloud beats Sephiroth single-handedly in some stories,
Yeah.
when Sephiroth is at his height, it takes Cloud and his team to bring down Sephiroth.
Power of friendship disqualified, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Cloud is strong.
But not strong enough.
Yeah, not strong enough. I think Sephiroth will throw Cloud down.
Yeah. Then Cloud and Sephiroth both go off to Kingdom Hearts and have a rivalry there for a bit. So, who knows?
Yeah, we'll get to Big Sword Boy.
We'll get there. We'll get to Kingdom Hearts when they put Sora in Smash, you cowards.
Oh no.
Corrin
Is a dragon.
is a dragon. Wins. Right, great.
Okay, here's the problem with Corrin. In, default form is, just another sword-fighting Fire Emblem character. Because they keep picking characters that are really similar to put in Smash, rather than picking interesting characters who use different weapons. But Corrin is also a dragon, and can transform into a dragon. And we did learn earlier that about half of the Fire Emblem cast have a skill set and weapon that is especially effective at killing dragons.
It's true.
So while Corrin can turn into a dragon and is probably better at fighting most of the cast than most of the Fire Emblem characters are, all of the Fire Emblem characters are better at killing Corrin than they are at other characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corrin gets falchion to the face and dies, I think, because it's super effective.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough Fire Emblem characters in there that they're going to have to come up against another one at some point.
Yeah. Cool, dragon.
There is a massive plot hole in that game.
A few, but yeah.
No, I mean the actual hole that you can go into to discuss the plot.
Oh, yes, there's a secret world at the bottom of an infinite chasm, which isn't actually infinite. That's the only place where you can talk about the secret world, because there's a curse on it. Wait, spoilers for Fire Emblem Fates.
It's not a good guy.
There's a curse on the world that if you talk about the hidden world while you're not in the hidden world, you cease to exist.
Wow.
Yeah. I got to that point in the game and I was just like, oh, fuck off. And closed my DS and did not open it. Anyway,
That's Corrin.
that's that game.
The important bit is dragon gets killed by dragon killer.
Alright, fair enough.
Bayonetta is pretty damn strong. She's like a witch who has access to a lot of magical stuff, including guns, magical guns.
Ooh, gun. That's always a good tick.
Also, she can have up to 4 guns.
4 gun?
Yeah, she has guns built into the heels of her high heels.
Ooh.
Which is just very extra.
Yeah, the whole game is very extra. She's meddling with demonic and angelic forces. The sort of scale she's fighting on with her mystical powers is a lot above all of the other sort of normies we talk about. And also her hair is magic.
Okay.
As in, she can shapeshift her hair and send it through portals and stuff and punch people with giant fists made of her hair and summon creatures out of it and all this other nonsense.
So she can actually take on the gods and stuff in this fight.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing. We talking about, we don't quite know where Palutena ends up because she's a god.
Yeah.
Bayonetta is fighting on that level, but we know more about her because she's the player character who we get to watch.
Yeah. I mean, when you said she had guns built into the heels of her shoe, I was like, oh, has she got some, way she could activate them by, kicking or whatever? No, the gun is just basically sellotaped to her shoe.
Yep.
In place of a heel, yep.
And she just has to reach down and pull the trigger, presumably.
No, I don't know how she does it. It might be magical, but she can do a thing where she stands on one leg and spins round shooting from the other 3 guns.
It's over the top, but it's also pretty badass.
Also, I think her clothes are made of her hair, which might explain how she can pull the trigger.
Oh, I think you're right. Her hair clearly is flowing into her clothes.
Yeah, magical nonsense.
Some of these stats are really funny. Height, 6'10.5" without heels.
Oh yeah, her entire design is... She's very extra in a very fun way.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go over the top, commit to the bit, right?
Yeah, right? That's what they're doing with it. It felt so much not a Nintendo game,
Yeah.
but they went for it.
Talking about a very Nintendo game, from the post-apocalyptic land of Inkopolis comes the Inkling.
Inkopolis.
So all I know about this is that they're squids, and also kids.
What are you now?
I think, unfortunately, their only weapon being paintball guns, probably not gonna.
Yeah, they don't really fight, do they?
They can hide in the ink, though.
They can, but it's a very colourful ink.
I assume they also still lose to gun, despite being made of ink.
They do die to gun.
They are, as we said, kids, and this entire thing has been about...
Killing children has come up multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo is dark, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Nintendo.
Yeah, so Inkling is from a game where you're not actually fighting... You're in a paintball tournament, effectively, right? You're just getting stuff covered in paint.
Yeah.
So you're not bringing actual fighting skills to the table.
I think what you really mean is Inkling Stinklings. Moving on.
I've got one thing for Inkling. They spray some ink everywhere. They get into the ink because we know they can hide in it temporarily, right? They wait for Snake to go past, or maybe Fox once he's crashed, or maybe Bayonetta. They pop up, they steal one of the guns because we know they're good with guns. They just happen to only have a paintball gun, and now they have a real gun.
That's a good point.
And once they have a real gun, they still die because
they're not the only man with gun.
Yeah.
They can also get sword.
But I'm saying gun specifically because that's the thing that we know they have skill with.
Well, they have a big paintball ink roller, so I think sword is not necessarily...
I guess.
You're right, rolling ink along the floor is just the same as wielding a sword.
You've heard it here first. Fuck.
I think we just throw Inkling in the trash.
Yeah, Inkling Stinklings, what can I say? Alright, Ridley Scott.
Okay, Ridley massively benefits from losing Smash stuff and gaining franchise things.
Yes.
Because to get Ridley in the game, they had to shrink him down and reduce his strength and power drastically because he's a giant boss enemy from the Metroid games. He's just a ball of raw power and fury.
Yeah. I think Ridley is very easily in the top.
And I think it's mostly from just sheer power.
Yeah.
In a similar way to, we started with Donkey Kong being super strong, right?
Yeah.
This is why Donkey Kong doesn't get there, because there are other characters who just have more raw power.
Yeah, this is one of the, without any magical bullshit, one of the strongest characters we have discussed.
Yeah.
Ridley definitely in the top 10.
Yeah.
Simon.
And Richter.
He's a man.
He's a man who can kill Dracula.
And don't get me wrong,
any one of these people can kill Dracula.
I have a qualm with Smash Bros. In so much as, yes, they keep using main characters, but sometimes that can be... I guess this one's kind of interesting, but they should have added one of the Axe characters from Fire Emblem, or they should have put Dracula in from Castlevania, because he's the actual thing, right?
Yeah.
Or they should have put one of the more interesting Street Fighter characters in, rather than Ryu specifically.
Yeah.
When they get round to putting in a Kingdom Hearts character, it should totally be Kairi. No.
Goofy.
Or Donald. Or Mickey.
I think Mickey Mouse is probably, just from a licensing perspective, it's never, ever going to happen.
A legal fucking nightmare.
Yeah. The reason I'm having this tangent is because I don't think Simon and Richter do much, because if they put Dracula in, maybe, but
yeah,
they're just some dudes with some weapons.
Just dudes who know how to kill a vampire.
Yeah, that's it.
See you later, you fools. Or should I say, you King K Rools! Got him with the transition!
Oh, no. King K Rool is another character I think who benefits going out of Smash, because in his games he's actually kind of huge, and they had to bring him down to scale. However, I don't think he's as huge and big and strong as Ridley.
No, I think King K. Rool loses the giant monster fight.
He's a kid's cartoon villain, really. The Donkey Kong series
Yeah.
is tongue-in-cheek and fun, and King K. Rool is this, evil bad guy who's in it for being evil. He's just silly. He's comedy.
He's not that much bigger than Donkey Kong.
Isn't he? I swear there's a fight where you have to have Chunky Kong fight him in a boxing ring because he's the only one big enough.
He is bigger than Donkey Kong, but he is twice his size.
That's a very big lizard.
Yeah, it's a massive lizard, but it isn't he's not a giant.
Yeah. Also, as he's comedic, all of the stuff he does is I've got a silly blunderbuss or whatever. He's just a big, silly boss fight.
Yeah.
Part of it's a boxing match. He's not serious enough. And I know some of the characters, like Kirby, not too serious, still quite powerful. King K. Rool sort of loses out because, as I say, he's a kid's cartoon villain.
Or does he win because he rules?
No.
Fair enough.
I mean, he's a king, but as we said earlier, he does lose to guillotine.
Dies to guillotine, yeah. All kings and queens die to guillotine.
Okay.
But what about the Queen of Bear's Heart?
Absolutely. It's just ripped to shreds by Ridley. they can't actually show it on TV.
Instant
We
death.
can use Isabelle to set the stakes.
She just gets immediately beheaded, and that's oh, wow.
I have been sent with a message from Burr. He says that if Doom Guy is ever added to Smash, then Isabelle gets super powered up because there's an ongoing fan canon that they're best friends. She loves playing Doom and he loves playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Doomguy would kill everyone for her and then let her beat him. One, Doomguy isn't in the game, and two, that's the power of friendship, and we banned that.
We have banned the power of friendship. But yeah, Isabel gets ripped to shreds.
Yeah, in like multiple different brutal ways, depending on who she meets first.
Yep.
Actually, let's be nice. She gets mercifully put down by a character who has some compassion.
No, she wanders into the arena and Captain Falcon just smashes straight into her. Instant death.
Yeah, okay.
Not ceremonious, not lovely in any way. Just smashed by a car.
She's just gone.
Oh, we spent too long on a character that died instantly.
Yes.
Yeah. Last of the base game is Incineroar.
Number 69.
Nice.
Yeah, it is number 69, which is the nice number for some reason.
It's a Pokemon, however, loses out to a lot of other Pokemon.
Yeah.
And also to a lot of other characters, because he's themed after, like, a wrestler.
Yeah.
So most of his moves are, like...
Fake.
Yeah. Basically, that's what I was going for, yes. So, yeah, he's not great.
I think, again, quite strong, but not as strong as the other strong boys we've got on this list.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help him that the previously added Pokemon was the water starter at tier 3, and he's the fire starter at tier 3 from a later game.
Type disadvantage.
So, yeah, I think he's gone. He's just out.
Okay, what about Piranha Plant?
So moving on to DLC fighters, Piranha Plant is a very interesting one that they added kind of as a joke first free DLC.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about the potential sneakiness of some of the characters. Piranha Plant can do that gambit. We know that it won't necessarily work, but Piranha Plant can just go back into his pot. And then when someone's like, wait, there's still a competitor left? And then they kill Rob. They went, wait, there's still a competitor left? And then they smash the plant pot and then kill Piranha Plant.
And then realise Snake was actually the last competitor.
Yeah, and then they see a cardboard box. But I don't think Piranha Plant can do much.
If it had been PT Piranha Plant, might have had a chance, but I think just any old Piranha Plant in the Mario game therefore has, like, no powers.
Oh, this one loses out a lot because in Smash Bros. It can hop around in its pot, but we're talking about franchise, so it's just stuck in a pipe somewhere.
Yep, it just moves up and down in the games.
Yeah, Piranha Plant's gone.
So the Joker from the Batman the Animated Series, voiced by Mark Hamill.
So there's an issue with Joker that I'm aware of, but I don't know enough about him to like confirm this.
Yeah, I also don't know enough. He's a phantom thief.
Yeah, but a lot of his powers come from being inside the other realm of that Persona game. Like most Persona games have this other realm that you go into, and that's where you have powers, and then in like normal life you're just a normal dude. And Joker's got that going on. So there are two options. One, he's a normal dude and therefore he just loses. Or two, we let him have the powers from this world, but I still don't think that keeps up.
No.
Again, I am skimming through quite quickly, and it is mostly just like regular fighting moves that get upgraded a bit.
Yeah. Again, it's a JRPG where the way you overcome extreme powerful things is by having your team.
Disqualified.
Yeah. Next up, we also have quite a generic JRPG hero. It's Hero.
Hey! What game is this from?
Dragon Quest.
Hero is actually 4 different heroes from 4 different Dragon Quest games, all with the same moveset. They're just different costumes of each other.
Okay.
Dragon Quest is very much the epitome of a JRPG.
Sure.
Like, they're very well done, but they are very cookie cutter with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, you start out weak fighting some slimes and you build up to actually dealing with the plot.
You end up killing God, but like you're still just a man with a sword.
Yeah. Again, they pick the protagonist, and the protagonist in Dragon Quest is quite blank slate, so you can be it.
Yeah.
But that means that they got to include Hero from 4 different games as the same character.
Maybe the missing piece of the puzzle will be Banjo and Kazooie then.
Ooh, that's a bird and a bear.
Oh, they're a bird and a bear, they die to gun.
Apparently it's a really fun and good game,
So I've heard.
but in the end, other than the fact that they have some weird stuff going on, they are just a bird and a bear, and therefore Kazooie will die and Banjo will win the tournament.
That's how that works, I think.
Yeah,
Terry.
it's another fighter game.
Dice to gun. Byleth.
Byleth is arguably one of the best Fire Emblem characters added to the game because, spoilers for 3 Houses,
It's a really good game, you should play this one.
they have a goddess in their brain who merges with them to make them basically the reincarnation of a long-lost goddess.
Yes.
And I know we're not doing too many time shenanigans, but one of their main powers is being able to rewind like the last minute or whatever and try again to like test solutions.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Also, they're really powerful in combat and stuff, but mostly that goddess thing.
The main problem with a power like that is that you have to not be dead to use it.
No, it actually automatically triggers if Byleth dies.
Go figure.
Also, their sword can turn into this cool magical chain whip thing. So is ranged.
Yep.
Unfortunately, their main asset in all of this is they bring together a team of people and lead a group of people who go forth to change the world together.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And while they are probably up there in terms of their actual power level as Fire Emblem characters, probably the best of the Fire Emblem characters because of that whole goddess time rewind thing. But yeah, their main asset is the power of friendship.
Ooh.
I think out of all the Fire Emblem characters, they're probably the one who gets into the shortlist and then loses.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Violet wins the Fire Emblem heat, but not the main heat.
Yeah.
Talking about heat, I haven't played ARMS. Apparently, it's a fairly good game. I'm sure Min Min has cool powers, and I wish the best of luck to her.
I mean, they're just a person with like extendable arms that punch people, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
If you dodge the punch and grab the arm, because it's your actual arms,
Yeah.
it's not a blade. It's not going to hurt.
Got him.
Yeah.
I will read out the entire wiki section for her arms and abilities. Min Min is able to deflect enemy punches by kicking them if she dodges while in midair. Her left arm transforms into the body of a dragon when fully charged.
That's pretty good.
That one's pretty good, yeah.
But Fire Emblem characters do have anti-dragon weapons.
Yeah.
Apparently the arms is a whole thing where like gives you various upgrades, but like in terms of her unique abilities, that's it.
Oh.
I think she loses out to like just people being strong.
Yes. Again, it's like some of the fighting games are defeated by the fact that they're just normal people fighting.
Yep.
Who's played Minecraft here? Because I haven't played that much.
Haven't played Minecraft. You're in Minecraft.
You're a very blocky lady.
This is Steve/Alex.
So the thing with Minecraft is you just a dude who doing stuff in a place.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you can punch down a tree.
I guess question 0 is, does any of the armor in Minecraft that you can make stop gun?
No.
So, you know...
But also, the biggest issue here is to fight on the Smash Bros. Stage, they've been powered up with some kind of silly, funny moves.
Yes.
Like running a minecart into people or putting down TNT and like making a fuse up to it, which is things you can do, but...
Yeah. Their attacks are essentially just sword and bow.
Yeah. All of the moves in Smash Bros. Are like sped up to make them work. If you were trying to set up a TNT trap for someone, you have to like mine out a section of the ground looking for creepers to beat out to make TNT and some redstone to set up the fuse.
The one advantage they have over most of the other characters here is that they can create as well as destroy.
Yes.
But I don't think that wins in a fight.
No, I don't think they're in the running at all.
Right, now on to a game you have played, Alex.
Yes, I have played Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy VII, but not finished it.
Oh, okay.
So, imagine, if you will, it's the end of the round, everything seems fine, and then One Winged Angel starts playing, and Sephiroth appears and is the final boss. You've lost. You're fucked.
Yeah, Sephiroth is, he's the final boss of a JRPG, which means he's nonsense.
Yeah.
He's the child, effectively, of, like, an intergalactic being that's come to the planet, and he's decided to, like, try and wipe out all life on the planet so he can turn it into his vessel to go across the stars and, like, conquer other places. It's nonsense, but it's very powerful nonsense.
Yes.
Also, if you're like, aha, I have a gun, I beat sword, he's like, actually, no, my sword's so long that you're dead.
Huh. What?
Who needs a long-range weapon when you have the sharpest, most long sword available?
Like, you can outrange it with a gun, but he can also block everything with his sword because he's a JRPG villain.
Ah.
Yeah, it's like a lightsaber.
So he does not die to gun.
Yeah, he does not die to gun. He also has a bunch of final forms that are like demigod in status. He's also got magic going on, and all of the mystical, magical sword play that is like late game JRPG stuff. They're doing nonsense like a building's collapsing, and all the bits of the building are falling down, and him and Cloud are standing on the falling bits of the building, having a sword fight with each other,
Wow.
and like cutting entire sections of the building in half to try and make them fall into the other one.
Yeah.
And that's just when he's in his inverted commas human form.
God damn.
And then, because we're going on what he can do in-game, here's his final form. It's like a demigod thing.
Oh.
It is nonsense.
That is nonsense.
Yeah.
Very low poly nonsense for nowadays, but nonsense nonetheless.
Yeah, that bit of the game hasn't been remade yet. And because it's a JRPG boss fight, he has a load of different moves he can do. One of them's called Supernova. One of them's called Pale Horse.
What a comparison. Like, you've survived the supernova, but can you survive Pale Horse? Okay, so he's strong AF is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, even though Cloud beats him, in Final Fantasy VII, Cloud beats him with his teammates and all of their stuff. I don't know how anyone is one-on-oneing his boss form unless they two are bringing some real nonsense to the fight.
Okay.
Or say have killed a god like Ike has.
Okay. Next is another Xenoblade character. We're nearly done with the first round.
Well, talking about swords, these characters are a sword, I believe.
Basically, I looked them up. They're a Xenoblade character, they're a playable character, therefore they're a JRPG hero, and I'm not that interested in talking about JRPG heroes anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. Sorry, Xenoblade fans.
Yeah, sorry, Xenoblade fans, but we've done enough JRPG stuff, and we've concluded that all of them are mostly strong due to the power of friendship, and we have banned the power of friendship.
Yep.
Rip.
And the last character on the list, Kazuya, is a Tekken fighter.
He has demon power inside him and can turn into a weird devil demon creature thing sometimes.
Huh.
Yeah. As the main character goes, he's pretty nonsense evil, but I don't know how much that holds up because still he fights on normal level. That's the issue we've had with the Street Fighter characters, right? Their games are limited into this scope where you're in a fighting tournament and fighting people in that way, and we don't know how that translates up.
So he is strong AF.
Yeah.
He is fast AF.
Yeah.
And he got weird devil powers. He seems pretty strong.
Yeah.
It sounds like Sephiroth level bullshit equivalent, except not a JRPG, so not quite as bullshit.
Yeah. But still, his devil form is, him-sized and fights with power at his level compared to, becoming this kind of monstrous being. Or, a devil is a weird, scaly humanoid with claws and wings, and Ridley is that, but 4 times as big.
Okay. Well, he's got to make it onto the shortlist just because of the way that these powers have been written.
Oh, yes.
Cool. So that's the shortlist.
Alright, so that was all the characters.
Every character in Smash.
Now, on to our shortlist. There's quite a few of these that we can bump off straight away, but we'll go through them quickly. Donkey Kong we originally came in as a good baseline. It turns out Donkey Kong is really quite weak compared to a lot of other characters later in the games.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bump him off straight away.
Sure.
Our baseline was off.
Yes, it was. But, got to start somewhere. Link or Young Link? We did not include Toon Link.
I think because he's pulling from more games, has access to more stuff, and therefore it's Link.
That makes sense to me.
Other than specifically the Fierce Deity Mask, he's got much more going for him.
Yeah, I think it's gotta be.
Okay. I'm still worried that now that these are a little bit weak compared to a lot of the characters on this list.
Yeah, I think Link's at the bottom of the shortlist.
But he does handle Ganondorf, so does he handle Ganondorf at, peak strength? Or is Ganondorf weakened by various magics most of the time?
I'd argue the strongest version of Ganondorf is Calamity Ganon, and Link one-on-ones him and then forces him to revert into pig form, at which point Zelda helps him. But he does one-on-one Calamity Ganon in at least some of the stages of the fight.
So Link ain't no pushover. Samus, still pretty decent, but does just have the tech on their side.
Yeah.
Though the whole being able to pop out the suit and be Zero Suit Samus does give them an extra little... But then I think Zero Suit Samus just fucking dies to so many of these people on this list.
She's still got a decent amount of tech when she gets out.
She does, but I think the suit is where she needs to win the fight.
Yes. She also gets to potentially start in the space battle above because she does have a Starfighter thing. But the entire thing with her Starfighter is losing it at the start of the game so you can work back up in power level.
We'll say that she doesn't then. She just starts on the ground in suit.
Yeah, fair enough. Out of all of the techie characters, her breadth of stuff she has access to is probably the widest.
Yeah.
So let's leave Samus here for now. Kirby is a being of infinite energy?
Kirby is a front runner. Lots of characters on this list are final bosses like Sephiroth and Ganondorf, and even Mewtwo being the final thing you face in Pokemon Red and Blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kirby is keeping up with world-shattering threats while being a pink friend.
Kirby is shaped like a friend.
Yeah.
Okay, I've still got Ness or Lucas on this list, though I think we can potentially eliminate them due to being children and dying to gun if they're not ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think we've got a better competitor in psychic powers with Mewtwo.
That's probably quite fair, yeah. I think they are crazy strong, and I think they have a lot of goods going for them, but I think they are just children that happen to have super crazy powers that they haven't really honed.
That's fair enough.
Captain Falcon is still on this list because he is a car.
But we have killed Captain Falcon
Yeah.
so many times through this.
Yeah, so unfortunately, despite being the coolest dude in the roster, we'll have to get taken off this list. Bowser's still on here for me, but
It just doesn't hold up to like Ridley or Ganondorf as big monsters do.
Yeah, the stakes are just so much lower when Bowser is involved compared to when the world is ending.
Yeah, his own character will be his undoing because a lot of the other ones, like big bad guys who are kind of have actually got plans and can actually be a threat.
Yeah.
Where his is like, steal the princess and then sit in my castle. So when it comes to a big fight like this, he's just out of his depth.
And he does get beaten by Mario, who was very swiftly eliminated.
Yeah.
Right, next, I've got Ganondorf, who is staying on this list, I think, at the moment, as far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
Same with Mewtwo.
Yeah.
He's still a squishy Flash boy, but has enough psychic abilities that are probably worth keeping around for a bit.
Yeah.
Snake will take down several tricky opponents, but will just die at some point.
Yeah, like I think Samus is a better example of human with tech.
Yeah.
Just like Samus is going to struggle once she's out the suit, he's going to struggle when he's facing a big pig demon.
Yeah. He does really well to take out, like, maybe Captain Falcon, maybe the Star Fox fighters, and then just gets murked by anyone with a sword that gets close to him.
Yep.
So,
And most of the sword people are out as well.
there'll be some upsets that Snake takes down, but he won't get that far.
Yeah, that's mostly like protagonist power.
Well, just having explosives is a big deal.
Yes, but him being able to take down big things more than him is because he's the protagonist of his game. But a lot of other characters here are also the protagonists of their games and therefore good at overcoming great odds, like we said.
He would take down Rob, though, so...
Yeah, I mean, everyone would take down Rob.
Sonic, I mean, the speed being basically his only power is, like, sure, he will be very difficult to kill, but he will also find it very difficult to kill.
Yeah. He'll, like, go really fast, hit someone really hard, they'll, like, die because they were one of the squishy characters, and then he'll get into, like, the top bit and come up against just a threat he can't.
Yeah. I think he will inevitably make it really far just by, like, staying on the run, but he's going to run out of energy at some point and just get gunned.
Get gunned or get, like, his mind blown up by Mewtwo.
Yeah.
He might be one of the Snake upsets.
Just trips on a landmine.
Yeah, because like Snake is really good at like planning and setting things up and everything, and Sonic's kind of cocky.
He is.
He would not think Snake is a threat.
Yeah.
He'd like see Snake with a gun, and he'd like go in front of him like, you're too slow, and then Snake would press a button and the C4 would explode.
Yeah, that is absolutely what would happen. Right, Bayonetta's next on my list, and she has guns.
She has guns, but I think she's just not as good as some of the others.
But she does fight crazy, like, angel and demon things, as Jamie was saying. She does fight, like, cosmic level powers.
Yeah.
The things she's fighting on the level of are quite high. The question comes down to, like, is that enough to take down some of the big things? Here it might be. Unlike with the JRPGs where you have a team.
Yeah.
It's generally just you fighting everything at once and comboing your way through it. Which means she is actually more likely to take down a big bad without needing her role-playing game squad to back her up and help do it.
Yeah, big boon.
Yeah.
I guess one of the questions about her is the reason that she can fight these cosmic level things because she has some weird magical upgrade that just means that her attacks actually hurt those things? Or is she actually that strong?
I think it's her magic, and I think it isn't specific to defeating those things. Being able to summon like a giant demon fist out of your hair to crush someone into the ground is like...
Oh, question about her hair. Can it be set on fire?
I don't know. I don't think it gets set on fire. It seems extremely strong and tough because she also uses it defensively.
Yeah, okay. If her hair could just be, like, cut down, she would die. But if the hair is magically toughened and therefore doesn't die to fire and swords, then she'll probably do quite well.
Yeah, I think it's the latter.
Okay. Next on my list is Ridley, big dino boy.
That's everything he's got going for him. It's a lot. It's a lot of power.
Yeah.
It's a lot of raw power, but it is just raw power.
Yes. I think he's the top of the just big power things.
Ganondorf is kind of just raw power.
But he's also magically enhanced by the Triforce of Power.
Yes.
And has a lot of other magical things going on with him.
Yeah. So Ridley is just a space bird
Thing, yeah.
that is really strong, but is just a space bird.
I think that gets Ridley onto the list.
Yeah.
But I think he does not stand up to maybe even just Bayonetta, to be honest.
Yes. He's the sort of thing that Bayonetta would combo out into oblivion.
I can see him being one of the earlier boss fights in a Bayonetta game based on what you've told me about Bayonetta.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. He's also one of the earlier boss fights in Samus games.
Oh, really? I assumed he was the big bad. Anyway, Ridley's not on this list anymore.
Sure.
Ike or Byleth?
I think Byleth above Ike, but I also think that if you give people what they do in their game with allies, which might like level the field, Byleth beats out a lot of things we've got going on here. So does Cloud.
Yeah.
So does probably like Shulk.
But
The power of friendship is banned.
Yeah. While Byleth might, like, when we get to the top 10, murder Ridley, because Ridley, probably from Fire Emblem logic, counts as a dragon, Byleth's probably quite good against the other physical fighters.
Okay.
Like Link and so on, but then probably doesn't keep up with the big guns, but probably makes it into that last bit. Mostly because they've got a goddess in their head and their main thing is getting to try as many times as they want. But eventually they'll find something that they can't beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weird time rewind thing is such a... I don't want to get into time shenanigans too much, but given that it is a main feature of them...
Yeah, like just get to retry. Like, if it turns out you could have dodged left and then stabbed someone, you lose, you learn that, then you dodge left and stab them. If you come across Ganondorf in pig form and you attack him with your sword and it does 1 damage and he's got like 100 hit points, you go, if I rewind, that will still do that.
Yeah. I'm not, like, quite willing to count them out because of that.
Yeah. Their sword also does cut through dimensions.
What?
I forgot to mention there's a point where they get locked in an extra dimensional void to try and get rid of them, and then they cut their way out with their goddess powers and their sword.
I might ban Byleth due to bullshit. In fact, I am going to do that.
Yeah.
Bye, Byleth.
Next on the list is Sephiroth.
I think Sephiroth's in the running at the top.
Yeah.
Sephiroth,
I think, wins myself.
Again, there's a lot of bullshit here.
There's a lot of bullshit here.
A lot of it is BS. A lot of it is JRPG BS. But importantly with Sephiroth, I think, is the way you beat Sephiroth is as a team, and no one gets to do that.
I'm not going to lie, gents. I'm very tempted to, like, just blanket ban JRPG bullshit. It's just too much.
Yeah, but then this isn't who would win a realistic Smash Bros. It would who would win a non-JRPG bullshit realistic Smash Bros.
Human form Sephiroth is still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
He's the best of the sword fighters probably in terms of power level. Like, even without his god nonsense, he's still way over the top as a sword fighter in what he achieves. He's still even competing without the BS, and then the BS just puts him over the top.
Okay.
But the BS is mostly final boss BS, which also Ganon gets.
Yeah,
Like Ganondorf, you can have him in his human form, well, his Gerudo form, I guess, and have him fight with his sword and his magical dark energy balls or whatever he throws at you. Actually, they're light, aren't they? But he also, in canon, has all of this like nonsense boss form, multi-tier pig nonsense going on that just puts him in a tier above a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's what Sephiroth is doing, but he's doing it in a... If I take over, I'm going to destroy all living beings.
It is truly baffling to me that Link is still on this list purely because he can go toe-to-toe with Ganon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, everything that has been said, Link should have died a long time ago, but he can fight Ganon, and therefore...
His equipment is nonsense in some of the games. Like, in A Link to the Past, he gets a medallion that he just uses, and it just kills all non-boss enemies on the screen, and does a lot of damage to bosses.
Huh.
Everything in his vicinity, from like Mario to Yoshi to, I don't know, Joker, would just die.
Damn.
He's also way stronger than he should be, and all of his like strength upgrades for lifting things make him punch way above his power level. Also, stasis is OP.
Yeah.
Freeze a thing and then stab it like 50 times, and then it will just...
I do want to come back to some of this in a second in a slightly different way, but I do want to finish off this list.
Oh, yeah, sure. Which is Kazuya.
Who, I'm tempted just to be like, none of us know enough about this dude. He sounds pretty bonkers, but I'm just not interested in talking about him.
Yeah, fine.
He can lose in a fist fight with like a schoolgirl.
Yeah, that'll do. He can lose to a schoolgirl, therefore he gets off the list. See you later. Right, back to Link briefly. Well, not Link directly, but something we need to consider is that these people have to have fought their way through a lot of other fighters to have got to this point. So, for someone like Link who is reliant on his equipment and his shenanigans, will people have seen that? Will he have used it up? Will people be aware of these shenanigans and be able to deal with him as a result?
Also, some of them do have the negative of still being human.
Yes.
And therefore getting tired.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see Kirby getting tired. I don't see Sephiroth getting tired. I don't see Ganondorf in pig form getting tired. But, like, Link, when he's still a Hylian, is just a dude. He's going to get sleepy.
Yeah.
I think Link has done incredibly well to get to the top 7.
Yeah.
But I think this is where Link bows out gracefully.
Yeah. When you bring up the point about time, Mewtwo is a Pokemon. Pokemon have power points or PP.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He's only got 5 uses of Psychic unless you spent a bunch of PP up on him.
Oh, man.
Unless he's got access to some ethers to, like, restore...
I mean, he can bring one item in.
But, like, the Pokemon isn't the thing that has the items. Pokemon Trainer...
I mean, you can get Pokemon to carry berries and shit.
I guess, yeah. So, like, the Pokemon Trainer Pokemon wouldn't have run out of moves because the Pokemon Trainer could have been feeding them ethers, but Mewtwo's not got a trainer.
Mewtwo can't keep his PP up.
Yeah. In the movie, he can do whatever because PP is kind of a game mechanic rather than an actual interesting thing.
It is, but we did set it up with game powers.
Yeah.
So I think you're right.
So Mewtwo comes in with 5 uses of Psychic that he then runs out of and has to use some other move.
He's still got super powerful moves.
But being a Pokemon holds him back.
Yeah. Samus, then, with a similar running out of energy, running out of power.
Her missiles, the super missiles and her super bombs, or whatever they're called, are limited.
Okay.
But all of her beam weapons are just upgrades that never run out of power.
But she is still mortal.
Yes.
Human?
Human with Chozo DNA, which is like space bird alien that allows her to do all this crazy stuff.
Sure.
Like, you know the morph ball?
Yeah.
She like fits into that somehow.
Right, yeah. But still essentially human, just better human.
Yeah.
Because of that, I think she is just going to get skewered by a pig horn or a Bayonetta gun. Skewered by gun.
We did say she gets a second life if she pops out the suit.
Yep.
There are some ways of hitting her in the suit where she does not get a second life.
Oh dear.
If you just shoot her and her suit's like out of energy or whatever, eject, it all falls off. If you skewer her, she just dies, right? Because you've skewered through the suit.
You just stabbed her through the guts anyway.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, so we're down to our top 4. We've got Kirby, Ganondorf, Bayonetta, and Sephiroth.
That's a nice spread of different things.
I actually have no idea who'd win that.
We've got final boss, protagonist, and pink friend. I guess the issue here is like if Ganondorf's in big Ganondorf pig form, the only thing that can hurt him is the Master Sword and the light arrows.
So part of the reason that I think that Ganondorf might lose this fight is because Link made it so far.
Yeah.
Oh, like Link actually is like, I know Ganondorf's here somewhere, I'm going to make sure I get him.
Yeah, I guess if Cloud got quite far, then we would have had a similar conversation about Sephiroth.
But Cloud does use the power of friendship, which is a problem.
I think Cloud gets very high on the list of people that didn't make it.
How does Cloud beat Sephiroth? Is it just with sword, essentially?
Well, and they've got magic and they've got summons. They can summon, like, Bahamut to come and beat him up.
That's pretty badass. But it is just damage.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's just he's a health sponge that you have to get through. I'd argue that Sephiroth's a big enough threat. Like, we're banning Power of Friendship from their own games.
Yeah.
But, like, Link and Cloud are going to beat up Sephiroth together.
Yeah, that's true.
And to be honest, Sephiroth is used to certain things, but, like, if Cloud teams up with Samus, now he's got to deal with Freeze Beam.
Yeah.
And importantly, Sephiroth's not going to team up with anyone.
Yeah.
This is true.
And I feel like a lot of the characters are smart enough to know that their only chances are teaming up.
Absolutely.
So while they can't bring their team in with them, I think there's actually a contingent of people who will probably work together to bring down the big bads, but then still lose out to certain other things, especially when after they've dealt with them, they have to fight amongst themselves because they're still being made to do that.
Yeah.
Is that the same sort of deal with Bayonetta?
She's a protagonist who does work with people. She might be on the team of people who team up to take some people down and then win from the fight between them.
She's a witch, but is she just a human, though?
I'd assume so. And
can her magics overcome the protections that are like Ganondorf's inbuilt protections that he can be hurt by the sword that repels evil? And to that point, because Sephiroth's main feature in a boss fight is being a big HP sponge with a bunch of cool moves, is Bayonetta very specifically well set up to deal with that?
Different question. Can Kirby die?
I don't know.
That's a very good question.
I'm gonna Google the words "can Kirby die" and see what comes up.
Also, Kirby gets to absorb powers, right? In this fight, I don't know what you're getting off some of these truly absurd things.
Yeah.
If Sephiroth's turned into Safer Sephiroth, what power does Kirby get? If Kirby, like, noms down on Bayonetta and takes a power, does Kirby suddenly get, like, sexy catsuit hair fighting? Or, like, heel guns?
Yes, but I don't know why.
The biggest problem with Kirby is Kirby is shaped like a friend.
Yes.
And I think out of all of the characters, Kirby is the one that is most likely to still be vaguely friendly.
Yes.
And then not actually fight to the death. Because if you look at the Kirby villains we've covered, there are more. The 2 Kirby villains we've covered eventually become kind of rivals that sometimes team up with Kirby. Like, Link tries to kill Ganon. Normally you have to seal him away because he's too powerful. Kirby eventually makes kind of antagonistic friends with these guys.
I'm really struggling to find any hints that Kirby can die.
Hmm.
He might be able to be knocked out?
Yeah, right? Or, like, get tired and have a nap.
Yeah.
And then you're like, how do we kill him? And you like shoot him with a gun and it bounces off.
The closest he gets is someone thinks they've killed him, but he's actually just faked his own death, essentially.
Kirby breaks this entire question.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I think Kirby could win, but if Sephiroth is the second choice...
So the thing with Sephiroth is that final form I showed you guys is actually kind of vaguely reminiscent of one of the bosses that Kirby overcomes. That's kind of a cosmic entity.
Okay.
Huh.
So yeah, Kirby might beat Sephiroth, but I think if like the last two somehow end up being like Kirby and Link due to shenanigans,
Yeah.
I don't think Kirby's killing Link, even though we've told everyone they have to kill each other.
Can Link kill Kirby?
Link is one of the characters in the entire roster who has killed the most things that shouldn't be killable generally, I guess. If Kirby's not killing him, maybe?
If Link tries to kill Kirby, will Kirby kill Link?
I don't know, maybe not.
So I think the only character that doesn't definitely die to raw damage is Kirby.
Yeah. And like I said, Ganondorf in pig form is only really hurtable by the Master Sword. And
Yeah, but you kill Link, you pick up the Master Sword, you eat it at Ganondorf, he's fucking dead.
that depends. If you're Sephiroth and you kill Link, you pick up the Master Sword, it will hurt you.
Oh, why?
It repels evil.
Ooh.
And if it's the right version of the Master Sword, I totally forgot to mention this earlier. If it's the right version of the Master Sword, if you're on full health, it can shoot laser beams.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure anyone's on full health at this point.
Yeah, fair. So actually, who kills Link and takes the Master Sword to go finish Ganon?
Is Bayonetta evil?
That's a good question. I think she's in the middle ground.
Right, Kirby is not evil though, right?
Yeah. However, there's a chance that Link getting as far as he did kills Ganon and then gets ended by someone else.
Yeah.
I mean, Ganon also gets locked away by a random magic from Zelda, right? So there are other ways of taking Ganon out of this fight, even if you can't necessarily...
Yeah, does Zelda throw away the chance to win by doing the things she did in Breath of the Wild to lock Ganon away forever?
Oh, not the chains.
Yeah, I think Ganon, like, gets taken out of this fight, whether it be through Crook or by Trook. Alright, chaps. Top picks right now, given all the discussion that we've had. If you think that we've disregarded someone who actually would get a win in this...
Oh, totally Pichu.
Shut up.
Going in, my answer was Kirby, but I feel like Kirby is already the secretly most powerful character in Nintendo, and part of me wants to go like, oh, that's the pick that everyone's going to make because they know Kirby's OP. Maybe it's Link just because he's so good at overcoming specific enemy setups.
Yeah.
Like 2 of the top 4 are final bosses, and Link's speciality is killing bosses. But again, he's getting to Ganondorf, killing Ganondorf, and then getting murked by Sephiroth, probably.
But then his sword is good against Sephiroth, so...
Yeah, but Sephiroth's sword is longer.
Ah!
Like, he's like, oh, fight me, Sephiroth. And Sephiroth's like, okay, I'm 3 times further away than you need to be. Poke, poke. So, oh. Can you come back to me?
Alex, what's your top pick?
Sephiroth.
I think you're relying too much on JRPG bullshit.
I'm relying entirely on JRPG bullshit, but that's the kind of person I am.
There we go. Jamie.
What about you, Ed?
I'm drawn towards Bayonetta because she's so powered up that she doesn't have any obvious weaknesses. And if she's not evil, Kirby might not kill her.
Yeah, she's morally grey, I think, because, like, she's fighting against both angelic and demonic stuff.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Who's your top pick then?
Okay, I want to say Ganondorf, but if Link meets Ganondorf, Ganondorf is screwed. And if it's not Ganondorf, it's... No, I should be honest with you. I came in here assuming it would be Kirby, due to how nonsense Kirby is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to rep Kirby. As much as I like the Zelda series, I think I want to give it to my ball-shaped friend.
Little friend-shaped ball.
What did I say? And if it's a friend who he's in the last 2 with, that's the problem with Kirby, right? Is Kirby's going to beat up all the bad peeps, but if the last 3 ended up being Kirby, Link, and Mario somehow...
Fucking Mario makes it all the way through.
Right? Like, I don't know how, but somehow like you end up with like 3 good guys, and I think that's the situation where Kirby's going to be like, oh, yay, friends.
I mean, the problem is that Kirby can't die, as far as we're aware.
Yes.
So I think I'm going to have to call it and say the actual winner of Super Smash Bros. Is everyone's favourite pink ball. It's Jigglypuff with Meta Knight's sword.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking got him. We'll
Shit.
see you next time.
What's the prize?
Oh, the prize! Oh, God. Congratulations, Jigglypuff. Your prize this week is an amiibo of yourself.
God, I hope that exists.
And if you agreed with this opinion that Jigglypuff with a sword is the most powerful Super Smash Bros. Character, check out our website, www.hexagon.com, at us on Twitter, at Hexagorgon. We're Hexagorgon on YouTube, Hexagorgon FB on Facebook, Hexagorgon Live on Twitch. All of those are spelt Hexagorgon. And try not to die in your sleep to that pink ball with a sword.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
I blame Meta Knight.